A system descends. A new world is born from chaos. Here at Lazy Manhwa, we witness the rise of a new god. But this god has a secret. He has an S-rank, game-breaking talent. Yet he's cursed with just one hit point. One touch means instant death. This is his story. The Killing Zone. The city of Mubai burned. A colossal bone dragon loomed over the spires. Blue fire erupted from its jaws. A torrent of destruction. It tore through buildings, turning stone to dust. Civilians fled. Their screams were drowned by the roar of an undead horde. The legendary player, White Knight, had arrived. Zichuan, guild master of Desolate Ghost, watched from afar. His spyglass revealed only annihilation. The power gap, it's too wide, he thought. This was the might of the Divine Dragon Empire's top player. A single man, a necromancer. The city was falling. His eyes met the cold, red gaze of the monster responsible, White Knight. Atop his dragon, White Knight gave his command. Go forth, my legion. Devour more power for me. The hunger was insatiable. It was never enough. This new life, this second chance, was all he had. Forged from desperation. He clung to it with only 1 HP. 1 year left to live. He had crawled back from the edge of oblivion. A few months ago, Blue Star, a sterile hospital room, the sound of a plug being pulled, a faint, familiar voice. Mubai, if you die, don't haunt me. It was Lu Ruyan, his fiancée. He was conscious, paralyzed. He screamed in his own mind. I'm not dead yet. What are you doing? She looked down on him, no pity in her eyes. You're a corpse anyway. This is for your own good. He was Su Mubai, top gamer, trillion-dollar fortune, reduced to a vegetable, trapped in a broken body. He could hear everything. He couldn't move, couldn't scream. How did it come to this? The door slammed open. A man entered, Zhao Su, his classmate. Ruyan, why hesitate now, he urged. The conspiracy unfolded. His parents are dead, Zhao Su sneered. Once he's gone, you get it all. The betrayal was absolute. His best friend and his fiancée. They embraced over his deathbed. A plan 5 years in the making. Zhao Su's voice dripped with poison. If you just killed him in the crash. He treated him like a brother. A fool. A blind, trusting fool. Zhao Su's hand moved. He ripped the mask from Mubai's face. Go to heck. The two traitors prepared to leave. Disgusting words filled the air. Let's switch rooms, Zhao Su said. Doing it in front of a dead guy is bad luck. He carried her away, leaving Su Mubai to suffocate. Their laughter echoed down the hall as the air left his lungs. Rage. Pure, unbound rage was all that remained. Move. Why won't you let me move? The heart monitor flatlined. A long, final tone. His hand fell limp. But his will burned hotter than ever. I'm not done yet. I won't accept this. Then, a strange light. Purple particles rained from the sky. A massive, impossible gate descended upon the city. A voice boomed across the planet. Congratulations. Blue Star has been selected. Mass transmigration begins in 30 seconds. Data flooded every mind on Earth. The Myriad Realms game had begun. People panicked. Some rejoiced. The old world's rules were gone. In another room, the traitors stared in disbelief. I was about to be a billionaire. Zhao Su screamed. I can't take it with me. Lu Ruyan wondered if Mubai could enter the game. Zhao Su scoffed. He's a cripple. He'd be trash anyway. But in his dying body, Su Mubai heard the announcement. Ice Sky reincarnation. A single thought ignited in his fading mind. This is my chance. The countdown hit 0. A blinding flash of purple light. His spirit roared against the darkness. I will never give up. The world dissolved into a vortex of raw energy. He awoke alone, in a crumbling ruin, the hall of the descended. He pushed himself up. His hands obeyed. His legs held him. It's real. I can stand again. The feeling was intoxicating. A system interface materialized. Welcome, Descender. Confirm your name. He spoke his chosen identity. A promise of vengeance. White Knight. The system confirmed. Talent awakening initiated. He knew this was everything. His luck had to hold. Golden light exploded around him. A system message flashed. Congratulations. You have awakened the S-Rank Taboo Talent, Ascension. The power was absolute. Permanently upgrade skills. For free. Or consume resources for even greater leaps in power. The final ability, Cataclysm, could upgrade a skill by 3 ranks. The first use was free. Before him, projections of classes shimmered. Warrior? Mage. His path seemed clear. Error. The system's voice was cold. Base stats do not meet requirements. The projections of powerful classes vanished one by one, until only a single option remained. The only available class is Necromancer. Before he could protest, the choice was made for him. He was locked in. He accepted it. A necromancer with an S-rank talent could still be a god. Then he saw his status. HP, 1/1. A single point of health. You gotta be kidding me. One touch, and he was dead. Forever. He had 1 year to live. What good was an S-rank talent now? Despair clawed at him. But then, resolve took its place. There was no going back. He would go all in. His Ascension talent. He remembered the free use of Cataclysm. A gamble on his very soul. Upgrade my class, he commanded. The system asked for confirmation. He didn't hesitate. A blinding light consumed him. Power surged through his new form. Congratulations. Player White Knight has advanced to the hidden class, Death Sovereign. New skills. New power. He was reborn. Huh, this sounds badass. A countdown appeared. Time was running out. The real game was about to begin. The faces of his betrayers flashed in his mind. Lu Rian, Zhao Su. The memory fueled his rage. It became his strength. He clenched his fists, feeling the power of the Death Sovereign. Just you wait, he snarled. I'm coming for you. I'll make you taste true despair. A countdown ticked to 0. The game began. A system message echoed through the void. Death in the Myriad Realms was costly. A loss of levels. A deduction of lifespan. 10 years gone with every fall. He materialized in a bustling village. Screams of panic. Shouts of confusion. Hopeful cries from aspiring heroes. He stood apart from the chaos. His focus was singular. His path, already chosen. A holographic panel shimmered before him. His new skills. Summon Little Skeleton. Soul Scorch. F-Rank. Pathetic on the surface. But a dangerous glint lit his eyes. This was only the beginning. Then he saw them. The true prizes. An A-rank lifelink. An S-rank summon boost. He could share his health pool with his undead minions. With only 1 HP, this was his key to survival. His path to invincibility. An ornate tome materialized beside him. The Book of Death. Class exclusive. Its true power locked until level 10. He dismissed it. No time for future promises. He needed immediate strength. He extended a hand, necromantic energy swirling. Blue flames erupted. Not one, but 2 skeletons clawed their way into existence. A system alert chimed. Cataclysm trait triggered. The effects of his skills were doubled. A slow, cruel smile spread across his face. A bald warrior approached, impressed, and offered to party up. White Knight cut him off. I prefer grinding solo. He had no use for partners. He walked away, ignoring the man's bitter insults. Trust was a luxury he couldn't afford. He watched other players struggle nearby. A chaotic battle against level 1 chickens. They were failing miserably. He looked on with cold disdain. These fools wouldn't last a day. He was different. He was a predator. Players whispered as he passed. Look, it's White Knight. They envied his talent. He paid them no mind. I'm not here to steal your mobs. He called back, his voice dripping with condescension. Wasting this power on chickens was an insult. He pushed deeper into the trees. Something rustled in the bushes. Vicious red-eyed rabbits burst forth. Level 2. Higher attack. Higher HP. A worthy first test for his newfound power. The rabbits lunged. His skeletons met them head-on. A blur of spectral blades and snapping bone. He stood back, a conductor of this grim orchestra. More flames erupted as he summoned reinforcements. Hacked them to pieces. The rabbits fell. Experience flowed. He checked his status. Minor damage was spread across his summon's health pools. His own single point of HP remained untouched. He walked past the carnage, for skeletons trailing him like shadows. His legion cut a swath through the forest. Other players watched in stunned silence. For summons at once, a feat of an S-rank talent. A brilliant golden light engulfed him. Level up. Already, he was pulling ahead. He reviewed his stats. 1 HP, 1 year lifespan. A death sentence he intended to defy. He pumped his points into agility and spirit. A sudden, wild idea sparked in his mind. If the class could be promoted, why not the skills? Direct promotion. The system exploded with notifications. Promotion successful. F ranks became E ranks. A rank became S rank. His S rank passive evolved into an SS rank monster. Death conscription. The leap in power was staggering. His mind raced. Life sharing linked his HP to all summons. Death conscription let him command an army of 20. A manic grin stretched his lips. The time for subtlety was over. Time to power level like crazy. One task remained. He poured his power into the Book of Death. It transformed, becoming the Death Scripture. A meager +5 to spell power. He scoffed. Its true potential would have to wait. The real grind was about to begin. Charge. The more, the better. His army descended on a pack of razor-claw cat demons. His summoning speed was terrifying, a new skeleton every 2 seconds. The beasts were shredded in a maelstrom of spectral steel. A flash of light. Level 2. The experience gain was incredible. He threw his arms wide, surrounded by his ever-growing legion. A mad, triumphant laugh echoed through the trees. My skeleton legion, charge. Half an hour later, he stood before a swirling crimson portal. The Mist Forest dungeon. A system warning flashed. Are you sure you wish to challenge it solo? He glanced back at his undead army. Can't you see I've got minions backing me up? Confirm. The system presented the difficulty tiers. Normal, hard, nightmare, to hell. For a man who had already been to hell and back, the choice was obvious. Hell mode. Without hesitation, he stepped into the blood-red maw. He was the Death Sovereign, cloaked in shadow, wielding a book of souls. His new power was absolute. He plunged into darkness, the gateway to hell mode. You have entered the hell tier foggy forest. The mist was thick, impenetrable. He couldn't see the road at all. Who needs ice? He smirked. Minions. Find the way. Kill everything. Within 100 meters, they were extensions of his will. He was never truly lost. A rustle in the fog. Something immense shifted. Red eyes burned through the gloom. A level 8 fog tree ant. An elite monster. A grin spread across his face. Haha, looks like we found a monster. He pointed. Minions, charge together. The ant lashed out. Skill, entangle. Thorny vines exploded from the ground. They wrapped around a skeleton warrior, crushing it instantly. The attack power was impressive. An elite is no joke, he mused. But it was only one. Overwhelm it. All of you, focus fire. A tide of bone and steel descended. You have slain a level 8 elite monster. EXP plus 60. The rewards for hell difficulty were immense. This was the fast track to power. Suddenly, a hiss from the shadows. A blur of black scales. A sneak attack. A fog tree python. Another level 8 elite. It struck without warning. You dare ambush me? He snarled. I'll roast you and eat you. He unleashed his own power. A torrent of soul fire scorched the serpent's hide. Damage numbers erupted. His minions swarmed the python. Hacking, slashing, a whirlwind of death. In seconds, it was over. You have slain a level 8 elite monster. He watched the corpse burn. His own spells were weak. But his skeleton army, his army was fierce. A glow from the remains. Equipment dropped. A tree python belt. It was leather armor. Useless for his class. A pity. But money was money. I'll keep it for now, he decided. Let's go, minions. We continue. They plunged deeper. The forest came alive. Red eyes glared from every shadow. Treants. Pythons. A whole army. He was completely surrounded. Good. He grinned, power crackling around him. Time to start harvesting. The Bone Legion became a blur of motion. The slaughter was absolute. He was a conductor of chaos. The EXP flooded in. A brilliant golden light erupted from his body. Congratulations, player Bai Yi, for reaching level 5. He clenched his fist, feeling the power. Haha, I finally leveled up. The ground was littered with loot. A staff, a dagger, skill books. Most of it was junk. Only the wooden staff seemed barely usable. He checked his status. Level 5. But the price of his power remained. Lifespan, less than 1 year. There was no time to waste. Suddenly, his death codex glowed. It leveled up with him. Its power surged. All attributes increased. Damage against undead was now doubled. This was a book of rules only he could read. He grinned. A true game changer. Come out, everyone. Get ready to work. His legion reformed. Stronger now. He was ready. Let's go see how strong the boss really is. He scouted ahead. A silver tier boss. 2 enhanced elites guarding it. This was hell tier after all. A massive, crimson serpent coiled in the clearing. The fog tree python king. 80,000 HP, flanked by 2 powerful guards. His minions might not hold out. Doubt flickered. He crushed it. Forget it. Let's just charge in and try. Minions charge. The undead army rushed forward. The boss lunged. One bite. One minion shattered instantly. The attack power was terrifying, but he didn't flinch. Your attack is high, he sneered. But you still can't withstand my skeleton swarm tactic. He ignored the king. A focused assault. Hack it down hard for me. The skeletons swarmed the 2 guards, overwhelming them with sheer numbers. In moments, they were slain. Both guards are dealt with, he declared. Minions, focus fire on the boss. A blast of his own soul fire struck the king. A pathetic puff of smoke. The beast roared, barely scratched. He stared at his hand in disbelief. Good grief. Isn't my damage a bit embarrassing? This fight would be a long one. The Python King thrashed. A crimson hurricane. Every whip of its tail shattered a skeleton. One bite, one kill. It was a massacre. Again he roared. He poured his mana into resummoning them. An endless tide of bone against an unbreakable serpent. The serpent reared back. Its throat glowed in sickly green. Is it about to use its ultimate move? It unleashed a torrent of venom, but it ignored the minions. The boss was smart. It was coming straight for him. The acid venom hit him head-on, sizzling, corroding, but he stood firm, a wicked grin on his face. Haha, didn't expect that, did you? He taunted. I've got life share. My HP is over 100,000. He laughed, gathering his own energy. Ha ha, die already. He unleashed everything. His minions swarmed in a final, glorious assault. The king fell. You have slain the level 8 silver tier boss, plus 14,400 EXP. He slammed his fist down. First kill, secured easily. The system showered him with rewards. The first to solo a boss. This was just the beginning. The torrent of venom struck. It sizzled. It corroded. But he did not fall. A wicked grin spread across his face. Yeah, surprised? He taunted the beast. With life share active, his HP exceeded 100,000. That attack was nothing but a tickle. He channeled his remaining energy. A final, manic laugh escaped his lips. Die already. His undead legion surged forward. A tidal wave of bone and steel. They crashed into the foggy tree Python King, overwhelming it completely. The great beast fell. A system alert flashed. He slammed his fist down in triumph. First kill, secured with ease. Another message appeared. A world first. The reward for his solo achievement began to materialize. Suddenly, an announcement blared across the entire novice village. Every player's interface lit up. The players stared in shock. A solo kill? So soon? It had to be a joke. They frantically wondered what kind of broken talent could achieve this. Murmurs of disbelief turned to outrage. The power gap was too massive. While they struggled with mobs, he was killing bosses. Elsewhere, a powerful woman looked up from her group. A server announcement, a missed opportunity. It doesn't matter, a man beside her stated. There will be other chances. The man, rustling maple, effortlessly dispatched a boar. He conceded his own weakness. This by ye, his strength surpasses mine. The woman, known as Wealthy World, was taken aback. But you have an S-rank talent. Her eyes narrowed. Are you suggesting his is SS rank? Very likely, he replied. An SS rank talent. The idea was staggering. Sister Wealthy, a small mage asked, should we try to invite him? Wealthy World considered this. A confident smile bloomed on her face. Try I shall, she declared. No man has ever refused my invitation. Meanwhile, Bayou was being flooded. Dozens of friend requests spammed his vision. Fame was an annoyance he had no time for. He swiped the notifications away with irritation. Reject all. He turned his attention to his spoils. Basic soul crystals. An item that increases lifespan. A manic grin stretched his face. Each one added 30 days. And with his talent. Perfect. I'll use promotion on these first. He confirmed the cost-free upgrade without a second thought. The system chimed. An intermediate soul crystal materialized. Its effect, a 120-day lifespan increase. The upgrade quadrupled the value. He laughed aloud. This thrill of free upgrades. It's simply addictive. He sorted through the other loot. 2 skill books, useless. Other equipment, trash. Only the venom ring was decent. Let's give it a promotion. The ring glowed. It was now a gold tier item, adding a poison attribute to his spells. If raw damage failed, he would simply poison them to death. He observed his skeleton horde. They were too weak, a liability in the boss fight. He needed to improve his summoning skill. The system offered a tier 2 upgrade, sublimate. The cost was 5 gold coins, an exorbitant price. But power was worth any cost. Do it. The upgrade was successful. His F rank, Summon Little Skeleton, evolved. It became the D rank, Summon Skeleton Soldier. He could now summon either a warrior or an archer. A skeleton archer, he exclaimed. That 5 gold was money well spent. He summoned his new minions. Their stats were impressive. The archer had double shot. The warrior had heavy blow. These stats aren't bad at all. His Scourge army was finally starting to look the part. Little ones, he commanded, keep exploring. His new army advanced into the woods. They encountered a group of level 8 elite goblins. Ranged squad, focus fire. The arrows struck true, staggering the target. The warriors charged in, finishing it off. The clearing speed was phenomenal. It was time to find a higher level zone. Back in the novice village, the square was a cacophony of shouts. Players desperately tried to form parties. One man attempted to found a domination guild. Others scoffed at him. Why should we work for you? The recruiter simply smiled. I have an S-Rank talent. Is that enough? His screen flared to life, displaying the details. It allowed free guild creation and provided massive EXP and stat boosts to all members. The mockery in the crowd died on their lips. A message request appeared. It was a recruitment offer. An SSS rank talent. God of Wealth. Bai Yi inspected the details. The abilities were absurd. Game-breaking. Infinite money. Daily interest. No loss death penalty. This woman was building an empire on gold. An interesting proposition. But he was not an ordinary player. He considered the offer. With the God of Wealth, a team would be unstoppable. But a team meant exposure. It meant witnesses. His path of vengeance required shadows and solitude. Sorry, he typed. I prefer to act alone. The rejection was sent. The reply was instant. A flash of fury from the woman. She was not used to being denied. Her party members grumbled amongst themselves. Their grinding speed was slow without proper gear. A powerful solo player could have accelerated everything. Just as they were about to move on, she stopped. Wait, she said, a smile returning to her face. He replied again. He wasn't interested in joining. But a trade? That was different. He had gear, skill books, things he had no use for. Her eyes lit up. This was a lifeline. I'll take it all, she declared. She promised her team top-tier equipment was on the way. Hope was rekindled. A roar split the air. A level 5 wild boar chieftain. A bronze-tier boss. An opportunity. The party leader immediately devised a plan. They would funnel all recovery potions to one player, Maple. He would leave the party. He would solo the boss for the server-wide announcement. The command was given. Maple, go. The spear wielder nodded. A surge of energy enveloped him. He became a blur of motion, charging the beast head-on. His purpose was singular. His intent was clear. Die. His spear struck true, gashing the boar. But the beast swung its massive club in a brutal arc. Maple was faster. He evaded with practiced ease. The party leader watched from a distance, a smirk on her lips. His combat experience was extensive. This kill was assured. Meanwhile, Bai Yi stood over a different corpse. The silver-tier goblin chieftain. A system alert confirmed the kill. And a level up. Player Bai Yi was now level 6. Loot rained down around him. So many items. Picking them all up was becoming a chore. He sorted through the drops. A reinforced bone shield, skill, redundant. A foggy cloak, functional but ugly. Then, something caught his eye. A gold-tier accessory. The chieftain's crest. HP, MP, and a critical rate boost. A significant find. He equipped the crest immediately. As his minions patrolled, one was suddenly struck. A massive chunk of its health vanished. Bai Yi snapped his head up, startled. A furious bellow echoed from the twisted trees. How dare you appear in this king's territory? The system exploded with alerts. His army had triggered a hidden scenario. The Goblin King was now frenzied. The forced exit was sealed. He was trapped. A 2-minute timer appeared. Kill the king, or die here. He clenched his fists, his army surging around him. Let's see what you're made of. A monstrous, crown-wearing goblin burst from the woods. Regis, the Goblin King. Gold tier. Frenzied state. All stats increased by 50%. Its HP was over 300,000. 2 minutes. This was an impossible challenge. A bead of sweat traced his temple. Doubt was a luxury he couldn't afford. Get him, he commanded. His skeletal horde charged. A wave of bone and steel against the behemoth. The Goblin King roared in disgust, swatting them away. A blast of red energy vaporized his front line. The power was immense. That single attack would have killed any other player. But he was not just any player. Pity you ran into me. Blue energy crackled around his hand. A dark smile crossed his face. He pointed. Scorch. The spell shot forth. A spear of arcane power aimed at the king's head. His spell struck home. Arrows from his skeleton archers rained down. Focus fire on him, he ordered. The Goblin King bellowed in rage. Red energy pulsed from its body. Warriors of my tribe, smash these filthy bones. From the shadows, a horde of frenzied goblin warriors charged forward, screaming for blood. He could summon minions, too, and they were also in a frenzied state. The battlefield was now a true war. His undead against the king's living horde. The scales had tipped once more. Bai Yi's eyes widened. This is getting a little tricky. The battlefield was chaos. Bones crunched underfoot. In the distance, Bai Yi surveyed his work. The Goblin King, Regis, saw only slaughter. You cursed necromancer, he roared. His tribe had hidden. They sought only peace. But this fiend had hunted them down. With a heroic leap, he soared into the sky. Warriors crushed them. A crimson shockwave erupted from the king's landing. It slammed into Bai Yi. Pain shot through him, but he simply smirked. That actually hurts. His life share ability absorbed the blow. He was far from finished. This was just a warm-up. His eyes narrowed. Summon. Blue energy pulsed from his staff. Let's make this quick. Take out the small fry first. His skeletal minions erupted from the ground. They charged into the goblin horde. A whirlwind of flashing blades and splintering bones. Archers, shoot, Bai Yi commanded. A volley of arrows darkened the sky. They fell upon the goblins like rain. The king watched in horror as his kinsmen were pierced. No, he screamed, his eyes burning with red fury. This king will not be defeated. I will never be your slave again, he bellowed. The system flashed an alert. The goblin king had entered a frenzied state. His attack and speed doubled, but his defense was halved. A final, desperate gambit. Bai Yi scoffed. You talk too much. As he gathered his power, a server-wide alert sounded. Someone else had soloed a bronze boss. A minor achievement. He pushed it from his mind. He had a gold tier prize to claim. Charge. He unleashed a heavy strike. Blue energy crashed into the frenzied king. The impact was devastating. Damage numbers exploded across the boss's frame. The goblin king stumbled back, shock replacing the rage in his eyes. The great beast fell. Silence. Then, a cascade of system notifications. Experience flooded in. A level up. Attribute points. Extra soul crystals. He surveyed the corpse. But something was missing. No item drop. This was a hidden scenario. Elsewhere, other players scoffed. They praised a man named Rustling Maple, the first to kill a bronze boss. They called Bai Yi lucky. Then the server announcement came. The crowd went silent. Rustling Maple's face twisted in disbelief. Bai Yi, what kind of talent did you awaken? His betrayers watched from afar. Zhao Su felt a chill. Ha! It's Bai Yi again. His strength is terrifying. Lu Rian placed a comforting hand on his shoulder. Her smile was poison. The game has just begun, she purred. We have plenty of time. As his enemies plotted, Bai Yi received another alert. He had triggered a hidden scenario. Regis's nightmare. The Fadi Forest dungeon's difficulty had been raised to disaster tier. His jaw dropped. Is there a disaster tier above hell tier? A wisp of soul stuff lifted from the Goblin King's corpse. It wasn't fading. It was moving. The energy flowed into one of Bai Yi's skeletons. He saw a vision. The life of a goblin slave. Abused. Broken. This was the past of his minion. Now, the king's very soul was being repurposed. The soul light flared. The small skeleton morphed. Grew larger. More powerful. When the light subsided, a new king stood in its place. A skeleton king. A dark gold tier boss. It flexed its new, bony fingers. In the end, I still couldn't escape the fate of becoming an undead. The skeleton king raised a hand. Fight for me, warriors. The souls of the slain goblins answered. They rose from the battlefield as spectral wraiths. Bai Yi stared in shock. This level of power, it was impossible for a novice village. Then came the elite guard. Skeleton warriors. Mages. Archers. All level 10. All buffed by the king's aura. Bai Yi analyzed them. The power of these 6 rivaled 20 of his own minions. A wicked grin spread across Bai Yi's face. This guy's attack power is insane. How am I supposed to fight him? The system delivered its final, cruel message. The hidden scenario had begun. Novice village protection was disabled. Death would cost him 10 years of his life. Before he could process the stakes, the Skeleton King attacked. Thunder heavy strike. A bolt of pure power slammed into Bai Yi, sending him flying. He hit the dirt, his body crackling with residual energy. He staggered to his feet. Defiance burned in his eyes. He pointed a finger at the overwhelming foe. Get them little ones, he roared. Target that trash focus fire. The Skeleton King's thunder-heavy strike crashed down. Lightning seared the air. Bai Yi was thrown back, the impact jarring him. Frustration flared, but there was no time for pain. He scrambled to his feet, defiance burning in his eyes. Get in there, my minions, he roared. Focus fire on this trash. His 20 skeleton soldiers swarmed the king, but it was not enough. Their attacks barely scratched its armor. Its defense was too high. He needed more power. There was only one way, unless I raised the skill another tier. It was all or nothing. He would devour the crystals and face the cost. He crushed the 15 soul crystals in his hand. A surge of energy. His remaining lifespan, 6 years. The system offered a Cataclysm promotion. 3 branches appeared. Skeleton Warrior. Skeleton Archer. Skeleton Mage. He needed a frontline. Skeleton Warrior it is. The most stable choice, with plenty of HP. The price was paid. His skill evolved to C rank, Summon Skeleton Brave. The bonuses were staggering. HP and attack power increased by 500%. Is this even balanced? He grinned. Now I can summon skeleton warriors too. Let's see who has the numbers advantage. A golden aura erupted. Power flooded through him. Charge. Wipe that wretch out. A new, monstrously powerful warrior materialized. Its stats were immense. Meanwhile, the Skeleton King continued its rampage. It cleaved through his weaker minions, shattering bone and armor. But Bai Yi just smiled. They were disposable. Boys, you've got to hold the line for me. The battlefield was a storm of blades and purple energy. His archers rained down arrows from afar. His new warrior held the line, trading blows with the king. It wasn't enough. Come, 2 more. And another 2. More elite warriors blinked into existence. The more, the merrier. Hurrah! Pushed to the brink, the Skeleton King let out a final, earth-shattering roar. I am the true Skeleton King. It entered a berserk state. Attack power and speed doubled, but its defenses were halved. A fatal mistake. Lowered defenses? Bai Yi's smile was predatory. You're just speeding up your own death. Double shot. Heavy strike. This is the final wave. The combined assault was overwhelming. The king staggered, its form flickering. This king is unwilling. It dissolved into dust. A cascade of system messages appeared. Bai Yi leveled up to 8. The rewards were staggering. A whole 40 crystals. The system wasn't finished. First clear rewards rained down. Gems. Gold. More crystals. He checked his lifespan. This single gamble had netted him over 13 years. But something was wrong. Wait, why is it held here? He muttered. I clearly cleared it on disaster tier. Meanwhile, at the foggy forest entrance, other players gathered. A man in heavy armor was recruiting for his guild. Hopefuls flocked to him. Suddenly, the crowd parted. Another party arrived, every member decked out in gleaming, expensive gear. Look, full sets of gear, a player gasped. It's the Wealthy World Guild. Whispers followed the newcomers. That level 5 set must cost a fortune. Just how rich is she? The leader of the recruiting guild, Hong Tu, met the leader of Wealthy World. I've heard so much about you, he greeted. With the 2 strongest parties present, Hong Tu saw an opportunity. Since everyone has arrived, how about we make a wager? Hong Tu proposed his bet. Let's bet on who can take the first clear of the foggy forest dungeon. The leader of Wealthy World, Rian, was intrigued. Sure, what are the stakes? Hong Tu's arrogance was palpable. If I win, you and your team join my domination guild. My talent and your wealth. A match made in heaven. And if we clear it first? Rian challenged. Then my guild will do one thing for you, Hong Tu offered. She smirked, holding up 3 fingers. Make it 3. Confident in his victory, Hong Tu laughed. Hurrah, deal. After you. Just as the words left his mouth, a system alert blared across the entire village. Their faces froze. What? Hong Tu's bet became a joke in an instant. He tried to recover. Since normal is taken, let's bet on hard mode. But the system wasn't done. Then, a final, crushing announcement echoed across the entire server zone. Hong Tu's face contorted with rage and humiliation. This is outrageous, he seethed, turning his back on the dungeon. His guild followed, their heads bowed in shame. Rian remained. No rush, she said calmly. The first clear is gone anyway. Let's wait and see. In another novice village, another top player battled a goblin king. The fight was a stalemate. He had been locked in this grueling combat for ages. Suddenly, the server announcements about Bai Yi reached him. His eyes widened in disbelief. Bai Yi again. Just what kind of talent did he awaken? Back in village 9526, Rian's companion stared into the distance. This Bai Yi. The name feels so familiar. He turned to her with a smirk. Could it be one of your old suitors? She glanced at him coldly. The name stirred a memory. A ghost from her past. Bai Yi. Her eyes flashed with sudden realization. Back when he played games, he always used that name. Her companion pressed her. Who? The name echoed in her mind. A name tied to betrayal and death. Mubai. Her companion recoiled. Impossible. He should be dead. I pulled the plug with my own hands. It must be a coincidence. But a sinister idea took root in his mind. But if it really is that brat, things just got easier. He leaned in close to Rian. He was head over heels for you. All you have to do is seduce him again. Rian's cold demeanor melted into a confident, alluring smile. You're terrible, she purred. With my charms, does it even matter who he is? A system alert pierced the silence. He was the first to solo a disaster tier dungeon. The rewards were unprecedented. An S-rank skill book, epic tier equipment. A grin spread across Baye's face. This was just the beginning. With his infinite health pool, he was truly immortal. He opened his inventory. The new skills glowed with power. Absorb could draw death energy from the fallen. Feedback could turn that energy into health and mana. He was a perpetual engine of destruction, an endless font of life and power. A new prompt appeared, a free promotion. His S-rank book could become SS rank. Without hesitation, he confirmed. Light erupted. Death siphon and feedback was his. A power beyond anything this world had seen. Time for a test. He pointed at the Skeleton King's corpse. Let's try it on you. A torrent of death energy flooded into him. 320 points. His storage reached its limit instantly. The power was immense. He understood. Undead creatures yielded far more energy. Just then, his epic reward manifested. The Whispers of the Dead robe. It would be the first of its kind, but it needed identifying a costly service. For now, it would wait. But there was more loot to claim. He had killed the king twice. The drops had to be extraordinary. He plunged his hands into the boss's remains. His eyes widened, glowing with avarice. Jackpot. A waterfall of rewards flooded his vision. Gold, gems, dark gold equipment. But the true prize, skill books. Summon skeleton warrior, archer, mage. Even the king's own thunder-heavy strike. He had stripped the boss bare. Another prompt. The 3 summoning books could be fused. They can be fused, he thought. An unexpected opportunity. He commanded the system without a second thought. Fuse. Promote directly. He learned summon high-tier skeleton, but its traits were locked. He needed to promote it again. The options appeared. B rank was free. A rank cost gold. S rank cost 1,000 years of his life. He chose the logical path, for now. B rank it was. The mana cost was astronomical. Just as he processed it, another item caught his eye. The Hades crystal ball. It pulsed with dark energy. An epic tier quest. Difficulty, extreme. His mind raced. Could this also be promoted? With a feral grin, he tried it. Promote. The crystal flared. The quest's tier shattered. Epic became legendary. Dylan's elegy. Difficulty, beyond imagination. He accepted. He would not be deterred by mere warnings. The quest was accepted, but he was too weak. He had 1 month to reach level 30. The item unsealed, revealing its true name. Dylan's crystal ball. A legendary offhand. The stats were insane. Spell damage boosted by 30%. Spell crit by 50%. This harvest was beyond his wildest dreams. With his inventory overflowing, he strode out of the dungeon. It was time to meet Wealthy World. Outside the portal, her party waited. They had been there for ages. As he emerged, their leader called out, "Brother Bai, you finally came out." "You guys have been waiting for me?" he asked, feigning surprise. Internally, he celebrated. This was a walking wallet. She got straight to the point. "Did you bring the goods?" He nodded. "Right here is fine." Ice walls erupted from the ground, creating a private space. The group stared, mouths agape. "Your strength is terrifying," one stammered. Wealthy World was convinced. An SSS rank talent. "There's quite a bit here," Bai said coolly. "Can you handle it?" He dumped a mountain of low-tier items. Skill books and equipment they had never seen. "Name your price," she demanded. He rattled off the costs. Without blinking, she tossed him a heavy pouch of gold. "No problem." "Now for the real good stuff," she urged. He unveiled the next tier. Gold tier equipment. C-rank books. Their eyes bulged. She admitted her defeat. "I'm short on cash." He smiled. A system contract would suffice. He wasn't worried. Then, the final piece. A single book glowing with holy light. Resurrection. The price, 500 gold coins. Her priest's eyes lit up with desperate hope. "Good. Deal," Wealthy World declared, shaking his hand. The deal was done. He knew her secret. Her god of wealth talent. A money tree. 500 gold was nothing. He pressed his advantage. "Want to make another deal?" He would guarantee them a first clear. His price, every soul crystal they had. Bai moved through the fields like a phantom. A whirlwind of slaughter. Experience poured in. Level 10 mobs fell before they could react. A flash of light. Level 9. He was leveling without a hitch. Living the dream. He celebrated the new stats. Now to find the appraiser. That lazy NPC was never in his shop. Suddenly, a notification. "Your skeleton warrior has died." He froze. Insta-killed. Impossible. His warrior had nearly 150,000 HP, yet it was one shot. He scanned the horizon, his gaze locking onto a distant figure. The appraiser. The NPC's power was that strong. A terrifying realization dawned. He had underestimated the powers at play in this world. Bai arrived at the grasslands. The appraiser's shop was supposed to be here, but the place was completely deserted. Just as he cursed the eccentric NPC, a system prompt appeared. Your skeleton warrior has died. What? Insta-killed? His warrior had nearly 150,000 HP. To be one-shot was impossible. He scanned the horizon. A lone figure stood there. Is that him? The appraiser? A system window appeared, confirming it. It was the appraiser, Huaijian. The man's level and HP were question marks. He was an unknown variable. A terrifying power. The appraiser spoke, his voice dripping with condescension. Your pile of scrap bones ruined my mood. He demanded compensation. Bai nervously offered a pouch of money, but the appraiser slapped it from his hand. Do I look like I need money? Instead, he handed Bai a scroll. A forced purchase. Unrolling it, Bai stared in disbelief at a childish scribble. This, a 3-year-old draws better than this. A wave of killing intent washed over him. The appraiser's eyes glowed red. Bai had insulted his art. Senior, you misunderstand, he stammered, thinking fast. I must cleanse my mind to properly contemplate your creation. The man's anger vanished. Amused, he patted Bai's cheek. I'm in a good mood. I'll appraise one item for free. A brilliant flash of golden light. One by one, 4 items were revealed. Shadow boots, a skeleton greatsword, the necklace of the dead, all of them dark gold tier. Each piece boasted incredible stats, a complete set for his undead legion. This was a massive score. The appraiser grumbled about his loss. Just one of these costs 100 gold to identify. He turned to leave, his artistic inspiration ruined. Senior, wait. Bai called out, a confident smirk on his face. The appraiser spun around, annoyed. Don't tell me you have more dark gold gear. Bai presented the whispers of the dead robe. An epic tier item. The appraiser's eyes widened. My skill level, it's too low. I can't identify this. Bai's face fell. He had wasted his one free appraisal on an item that was too good. The appraiser saw his chance. A sly grin spread across his face. How about I teach you the appraisal skill? Bai's excitement soared. No more paying for identification. But, the appraiser added, you'll have to pay tuition. He held up 5 fingers. 500. Not just gold. Ancient gold coins. An out-of-circulation currency. Practically unobtainable. A collector's item with immense value. This was an impossible task. But Bai remembered his promotion skill. A hidden quest popped up. Collect 500 ancient gold coins. As the appraiser turned to leave, humming to himself, Bai stopped him once more. Senior, hold on. The appraiser's patience was wearing thin. What is it now? Bai simply presented a large sack. It was filled to the brim with glittering ancient gold. The appraiser's jaw dropped. He stared, utterly speechless. So many. Huaijian roared with laughter. Good kid, you really surprised me. He tossed a glowing skill book to Bai. Quest complete. Contact me again when you have 10,000, he called out. I'll have another surprise for you. A new quest began. This old man was getting more interesting. Basic appraisal won't be enough. Bai targeted the skill book. Promotion. A blinding light erupted. He had obtained intermediate appraisal. A hidden subclass. A new path opened before him. A beam of knowledge shot into his head. He held up the epic robe. Now he could identify it himself. 10% success rate. Is my luck really that rotten? He wondered. Appraisal failed. 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 He tried again and again, but the system was merciless. He collapsed to his knees. You win. You're ruthless. Suddenly, a new notification. Discovered a wild treasure chest. His despair vanished. He spotted it on a distant hill. It was guarded by a pack of vicious wolves. A boss monster meant high-tier loot. This was a jackpot. He dashed through the grass. The treasure chest gleamed, just as he expected. Boys, come on out. Time to work, he roared. His undead army materialized in a storm of blue energy, ready for battle. The skeletons crashed into the wolf pack. The alpha howled. From the tree line, hundreds of wolves swarmed forward. They were trying to overwhelm him with sheer numbers. A mistake. Let's see who has the numbers. An entire legion of spectral warriors burst from the ground. The tide of battle turned instantly. The wolves were torn apart, their bodies thrown through the air. The ground shook as the final beast fell. It was over before he could even finish summoning. Massive EXP flooded his status. He killed the Grassland Wolf King. A level up. He hit level 10. A server-wide announcement declared him the first. He had earned the title leading the pack. He walked over to the chest. A new idea struck him. A wicked grin spread across his face. I wonder, can promotion be used on a treasure chest? He reached out his hand. Promotion? A brilliant light erupted. Promotion successful. It actually worked. A gold-tier treasure chest. He did not hesitate. Open. Light exploded from the chest. A staff. A map. Only 2 items. He examined the map. A trail to another gold-tier chest. But its destination lay far outside the novice village. A new objective. A new hunt. But first, a roadblock. A system notification. He had reached the novice level cap. Experience gain, frozen. He had to find the village chief. But as he walked, a familiar thought sparked. Promotion. He raised a hand toward the treasure map. The map upgraded. Dark gold tier. Its destination, Jingli City. An insane distance. It even required crossing a national border. The loot would have to wait. Suddenly, a server-wide announcement blared. In the village square, the Domination Guild froze. Their leader's proud expression soured. Just as he announced their next conquest, a second announcement echoed. The Wealthy World Guild had beaten them. They had secured the first kill on Nightmare difficulty. The Domination Guild leader roared in fury. How? How could they be so fast? His rage found a target. He turned on the woman from Wealthy World. Mubai. He spat, his voice dripping with venom. On what grounds do you sell exclusively to them? His fist clenched. You dare oppose me? Meanwhile, the Wealthy World Guild was taking a break. Their leader, a shrewd woman, looked smug. Then, the sky lit up with another announcement. A Blue Star zone-wide alert. Congratulations to player Bai Yi for becoming the first to reach level 10. Jaws dropped. The Domination Guild leader's face twisted with hate. The Novice Village leaderboard appeared. Bai Yi's name was at the top. Level 10. The next highest player was only level 5. The gap was an insult. Oomph. We'll see who has the last laugh, the guild leader growled. The Wealthy World players were in disbelief. His leveling speed is like a rocket. Their leader knew what this meant. I've already secured the soul crystals he wanted. It's crucial to stay on good terms. She teleported away. This alliance was everything. She found Bai Yi in the village streets. Brother Bai Yi. She handed him the sack of soul crystals, their deal fulfilled. She pushed for future business, and he coolly agreed. As long as she had the coin, he would provide the goods. As she walked away, a triumphant smile crossed her lips. Securing him as a partner was the right call. With his business concluded, Bai Yi turned. It was time to leave this starting zone. He made his way to the village chief's house. The village chief stared, astonished. A player reaching level 10 this quickly was unprecedented. Bai Yi was direct. I'd like to leave the novice village. The old man sighed. Very well. Follow me. Inside, the chief activated a shimmering teleportation circle. Our village falls under the jurisdiction of Donhai City. A map appeared, showing a magnificent coastal metropolis. Reaching Donhai City, that is where your true journey begins. Bai Yi stepped into the light, offering his gratitude. Bai Yi vanished in a flash of blue energy. The chief walked slowly outside, leaning on his cane. He looked over the peaceful village and sighed heavily. The chaos of the God-forbidden land is coming. Far away, Rian and her companion ran. Do you think this Bai Yi is really Su Mubai? He asked again. She brushed it off. Who cares? Her eyes glinted with avarice. Since he's this powerful, he'll never escape my grasp. Bai Yi materialized in the heart of Donhai City. He stared, speechless. The scale, the life, the detail. This world, it's just too real. He checked for a reward. Nothing. But the city itself was prize enough. A system alert chimed. Death Codex upgraded to level 10. His class-exclusive item pulsed with power. The black book appeared in his hand, radiating a brilliant golden aura. He checked its new stats. A massive boost to magic power and all attributes. A devastating 100% damage increase for his undead army. And a new skill, Soul Siphon. This book was the source of his true potential. A tome of forbidden skills only he could access. He grinned. Exclusive skills. Double death penalty for his victims. Without hesitation, he opened the codex. Golden runes surged from the pages, branding themselves onto his soul. System, you have learned new skill Death Gazed. The influx of power was immense, a searing headache. He read the skill's description. SSSS level. It dealt true damage every second. It inflicted overwhelming fear. Its effect was absolute. His eyes widened in shock. Whoever I look at dies? Isn't this too broken? A calm, powerful voice broke the silence. I didn't expect a descender to possess this kind of power. Bai Yi spun around. An old man with flowing white hair stood there, his power immense, his level unreadable. Situji, City Lord of Donhai City. Another monster had taken an interest in him. Bai Yi formally greeted the City Lord. The old man's eyes glowed, sensing the dark energy, the power of death. He saw straight through Bai Yi's status. He knew about his hidden overlord class. Bai Yi froze. A class like this should not exist in this beginner's land. Situji explained the path ahead would be difficult, more arduous than for any other overlord. He offered a test, a chance to learn more. A quest notification appeared. Epic tier, clear the land of the forgotten with 100% exploration. Bai Yi stared at the quest details. The failure penalty was none. He couldn't believe his luck. An epic quest, for free. A swirling purple void ripped open beside him. The teleportation had begun. A countdown flashed. 5 minutes. Not nearly enough time. He needed to socket gems to prepare his gear. Panic set in. He sprinted through the fields. Desperate. Where was the teleportation circle? His world dissolved into darkness. He materialized in a desolate wasteland. Barren. Lifeless. A new prompt appeared. He had 72 hours. 3 days to explore this entire cursed land. The clock was ticking. He felt exposed. Unsafe. Without hesitation, he began summoning. Blue necrotic energy erupted from the ground. His minions would protect him. He inspected his new skeleton mage. Level 9 fireball. The firepower was immense. Suddenly, the earth trembled. Skeletal hands burst from the sand. An army, a horde of level 20 skeletons, surged towards him. Their numbers were staggering, endless. He gave the command. All forces attack. His elite minions tore into the enemy lines. The skeletons shattered, but the experience points were low. No matter. Quantity had a quality all its own. A wicked smile crossed his face. Time for a field test. He focused his will. Golden power flared in his eyes. He unleashed his new ability. Death Gaze. A wave of absolute power washed over the horde. They fell in a single instant. Wiped out. He noticed they had souls. Yet when he tried to absorb them, his death codex gained nothing. 0 points. Something was wrong. A ghostly figure materialized before him. Road, a forgotten one. A special elite spirit. He explained that a curse prevented any soul harvesting in this land. To break it, he had to face the source. Road pointed to a distant point on the horizon. A pulsating pillar of green, malevolent energy. At its center, a massive, chained coffin. The sight was terrifying. Bai Yi grinned. Let's go check it out. As they approached, even his minions recoiled in fear. The coffin radiated pure dread. Road urged him to smash it. But the system warned. Destroying it would release a terrifying existence. Bai Yi's interest was piqued. He pointed. Minions, smash it to pieces. The squad unleashed a torrent of attacks. Fireballs and arrows hammered the coffin's shield. The barrier shattered under the relentless assault. The coffin burst open. Road screamed in terror. A skeletal figure emerged, draped in chains. No, the Forgotten. A level 203 failed lich. His power was immense. Over 1.5 million HP. No was furious. His transformation was interrupted. But then he sensed Bai Yi's aura. A dense energy of death. He would absorb this outsider and complete his ascension. Bai Yi scoffed. Absorb me? You don't have the nerve. Bai Yi commanded the attack. The skeleton squad charged. Fireballs and arrows slammed into the lich. Nell barely flinched. With a sweep of his arm, he sent the minions flying. Nell laughed, his power overwhelming. Watch me crush them. He effortlessly shattered one of Bai Yi's powerful skeleton warriors into nothingness. The power gap was enormous. The lich was taken aback. Who could summon such powerful undead? He conjured an ice shield, blocking the barrage. He prepared to unleash his own magic. A dark power began to stir. Nell raised his hand. Come forth, my servants. Grotesque abominations and ghouls clawed their way from the desert sand. A wave of putrid stench washed over Bai Yi. The smell of rotting corpses. Bai Yi had enough. His eyes blazed with golden light. Death Gaze. A wave of fear struck Nell. All his attributes dropped by 90%. His health plummeted. Bai Yi realized his overlord class had raised his very life tier, making his gaze absolute. Nell crumbled to his knees. How? How is this possible? He was helpless, powerless. Bai Yi gave the final order. Get rid of this trash. He punctuated it with a vicious kick to the lich's face. The skeleton squad swarmed the weakened boss. A frenzy of attacks. Damage numbers filled the air. Nell screamed in his final moments. I cannot be forgotten. He disintegrated into dust. Bai Yi's command was absolute. Skeleton squad, take this worthless trash out. The final command. An order for annihilation. His undead minions swarmed the fallen boss. A frenzy of blades and bone. They descended upon the weakened Nell without mercy. A final, desperate cry. No, I cannot be forgotten. But he was already fading. His form disintegrated into motes of light and dust. Another boss vanquished. Bai Yi stood alone on the battlefield, the silence profound. The system rewards flashed before his eyes. Massive experience gain. A title bonus. He felt a surge of power. A brilliant column of light erupted around him. Level 12. He shot up 3 levels in one go. A satisfied grin spread across his face. A glint of gold caught his eye. The loot. Not much from the mobs, but the boss. It was a single shard. A dark gold tier item. Shard of the cursed crown. 1 of 7. A new hunt had just begun. The ghostly NPC appeared, his voice ecstatic. Incredible. You granted him release. He urged Bai Yi onward. Let's save the next one. Bai Yi hesitated, wary of another tough fight. But the spirit offered a reward. A skill book. The bribe was too good to refuse. He accepted the scroll. Corpse explosion. A C-rank area of effect skill. Useful, but he could do better. His hand glowed. Promotion. The system chimed. Promotion successful. The skill evolved to B rank. Advanced corpse explosion. Time for a test. He turned to Nell's remaining corpse. Corpse explosion. A violent surge of red energy. The ground erupted in a massive, devastating blast. The damage was immense, the range incredible. His leveling speed was about to skyrocket. 1 hour later, the vast wasteland stretched before them. Bai Yi and his squad found their next target. The forgotten Walter. A smirk crossed Bai Yi's face. Counting you, that makes exactly 7. The final piece of the puzzle. He raised his hand. Corpse explosion. The forgotten didn't stand a chance. It roared in defiance, but was consumed by the blast. Another shard of gold fell to the ground. The final piece was his. 7 shards. The set was complete. As he brought them together, the NPC screamed in terror. Stop! That cursed thing will consume you. But it was too late. A blinding golden light erupted. The cursed crown was reformed. System notifications confirmed his theory. Legendary tier item. Cursed crown. His promotion gambit had paid off. A warning flashed. He was being eroded by death energy. But another message followed. His own stored energy was too great. The curse was utterly negated. Suddenly, the ground began to quake. A terrifying aura surged from beneath the earth. The ghostly NPC stared in horror. It's him. The system confirmed his fears. The cursed crown had awakened the Lich, Franklin. The NPC's memories returned. He was Road, the mayor of Sunset Town. This was his curse. Bai Yi, I beg you, kill that beast, Franklin. It was a unique hidden quest. A chance for immense rewards. Bai Yi accepted without hesitation. The quest objective was clear. Kill Lich, Franklin. Road's spirit surged forward, merging with Bai Yi. A buff activated. Spirit attribute increased by 20%. The stage was set for an epic confrontation. From the depths of the earth, a figure arose. A skeleton clad in dark robes, emanating a chilling aura of shadow and frost. Franklin the Lich. An epic tier boss. His stats were immense, even in a heavily injured state. A true monster. The Lich's gaze fell upon the crown. Return to me, my crown, he commanded. But the crown remained still. The Lich roared in disbelief. Bai Yi simply scoffed. Don't be ridiculous. Why would my possession obey your call? He placed the crown upon his head. The system's equip requirement was ignored by his Death Overlord class. Power surged through him. Massive stat boosts. New passive skills. He smiled. How's this for a fit? Franklin retaliated. Come forth, Shadow Knights. Dark portals tore open, releasing spectral cavalry. An epic tier boss's legion. Bai Yi was unimpressed. Summoning some lackeys? Let's see whose are tougher. Skeleton squad, charge. His skeletons clashed with the Shadow Knights. But Bai Yi had an ace up his sleeve. Curse aura. An invisible wave of power washed over the battlefield. The knights slowed to a crawl. His skeletons, unaffected, cut through them like a hot knife through butter. The Lich seethed. Despicable. Bai Yi felt his own power. Level 15, 2 legendary items. His attributes had nearly doubled. He was a god in this forgotten land. Franklin launched himself forward. Human, you are courting death. Bai Yi met his charge with a cold stare. Let's see you handle this. His eyes blazed with golden light. Deaf gaze. A system notification confirmed the inevitable. His life tier was higher. The attack was absolute. The Lich was already finished. The Lich, Franklin seethed. His power had been utterly nullified. He could only watch in rage. But Bai Yi was calm. He surveyed his own strength. Level 15, 2 legendary items. His attributes had nearly doubled. This power was intoxicating. Franklin launched himself forward. A blur of dark energy. Human, you court death. Bai Yi met the charge with a cold stare. No time for breath. His eyes blazed with golden light. Death gaze. The system confirmed the result. His life tier was higher. The effect was absolute. Shadows coiled around him. The pages of his codex glowed. His skeletal axe pulsed with power. In this forgotten land, he was the overlord. His will was law. His gaze was death. Ah! The lich screamed. Power drained from his very bones. He collapsed to his knees. It was impossible. He stared in horror. What are you? Bai Yi looked down, his expression cold. His name was a privilege this creature had not earned. Driven by pure rage, Franklin unleashed a final, desperate roar. You wretched human. He gathered every ounce of his remaining magic. The ground cracked. A violent vortex of shadow erupted, forming a massive cyclone. This was a spell to annihilate everything. This was no mere attack. It was a summoning. Today you shall be buried. Franklin's voice echoed. Come forth. From the ravaged earth, a colossal shape arose. Bones clicked into place. An undead bone dragon, Marhis, a level 20 epic tier boss. Bai Yi shielded his eyes. A bone dragon. He grimaced. The test from the city lord of Donghai was more insane than he could have imagined. This was a true trial, designed to kill. The dragon did not wait. A torrent of necrotic energy erupted from its jaw. The beam of destruction tore across the wasteland. Bai Yi reacted instantly. Enhance. Block it for me. His skeletons formed a wall of bone to meet the blast. The dragon recoiled in shock. Impossible. A single skeleton warrior had tanked its breath attack. Bai Yi had poured all his collected death energy into one soldier. A 640% boost. It was no longer a minion. It was a fortress. Meanwhile, the cursed crown tormented its new host. Small explosions rocked Franklin's body. My crown, he shrieked. But the death energy it produced flowed straight to Bai Yi. He was an endless power bank. The lich cast again. Freezing hell. A wave of ice slammed into Bai Yi, sending him flying. The dragon laughed, certain of victory. But Bai Yi landed without a scratch. Life share. The damage was redirected across his entire undead legion. Franklin spotted the weakness. Area of effect. He conjured death and decay. The dragon unleashed Bone Spike Hell. The ground became a forest of razor-sharp bone. His skeletons were impaled. The horde began to fall. Bai Yi saw the plan. A war of attrition. He would not allow it. Recall. In a flash of golden light, his army vanished. The enemy's strategy was broken. To crush the horde, you must first crush the leader. Now, the true battle began. The bone dragon and the enhanced warrior charged the lich. Damage numbers exploded across Franklin's body. His form began to disintegrate. Even as he shattered, he sneered. Wretched human, you've lost. Lost? Bai Yi scoffed. Enhance. He poured the last of his power into his warrior. The skeleton's blade descended. A final, cataclysmic blow. Franklin's body was utterly annihilated. Total silence. Light erupted around Bai Yi. Franklin's defeat pushed him to level 17. The dragon crumbled with its master. Level 18. Level 19. A system alert blazed across the entire Blue Star region. The first solo kill of an epic tier boss. The rewards were immense. The haul was incredible. A mountain of soul crystals. He smirked. Promotion. They became advanced crystals. He absorbed them instantly. Lifespan increased by 50 years. The existential crisis was over. He was truly free. Across the game world, players stared at the announcement in awe. Bai Yi's name was on everyone's lips. His allies celebrated. But his power had also attracted new, dangerous attention. A powerful woman smiled. He will inevitably bow down at my feet. Another reward materialized. An epic tier dragon skull pendant. It granted an undead dragon mount. His eyes widened. A flying mount. An epic tier flying mount. A wicked thought sparked. If I use promotion on this? He didn't hesitate. Promotion. Light erupted. The pendant shattered, reforming. Promotion successful. It was now the legendary tier item, Frost Horn. He was no longer just a player. He was a master of death, an overlord of undeath. The power coursing through him was absolute. Every victory made him stronger. Every fallen foe, a step on his throne. He lifted the Frost Horn. The ground trembled. A swirling blue vortex ripped open reality. A torrent of death aura flooded the wasteland. From the depths, a claw emerged. A colossal beast of bone and ice pulled itself free. It was the Frost Dragon. "You summoned me, human?" Its voice boomed, dripping with arrogance. "You seem so frail." Suddenly, Baye's passive, purifying light aura activated. The holy energy seared the undead dragon's flesh. The light. It burns. The immense creature recoiled in agony. Its arrogance vanished, replaced by primal fear. It dropped to its knees. "Master, I submit. I am willing to become your mount." A system alert blazed across the Blue Star region. "Congratulations to player Baye for obtaining the first mount." A leaderboard appeared from thin air. He was alone at the top. The massive dragon obeyed his will, shrinking down. It became a tiny, skeletal creature perched on his shoulder. A new level of power. A new way to flaunt it. He checked the stats. His jaw dropped. Mythic tier. Unbelievable. Its HP and attack power were monstrous. It had an AoE fear effect. A devastating breath attack. This wasn't just a mount. It was a weapon of mass destruction. Across the game world, players stared in shock. A mount leaderboard? A mythic tier Frost Dragon? They felt like they weren't even playing the same game. Baye was a god among insects. Their jealousy was palpable. The ghostly villager, Rhodes, spoke. "War Baye, I sense it." He led him into a dark forest. There, pulsing with dark energy, was a chest. Franklin's phylactery, the source of the Lich's immortality. But its durability was immense. 1,000,000 points. A daunting task. Rhodes's spirit burned with vengeance. "Lord Baye, let me finish him." He grabbed the phylactery. "You? A mere remnant soul?" The Lich mocked from within. But Rhodes was channeling the rage of 1,000 murdered townsfolk. "Franklin, your time has come." The phylactery erupted in screams. The phylactery shattered. Rhodes's soul finally found peace. "Thank you," he whispered, fading into light. System alerts flooded Baye's vision. Quest completed. Level 20. An avalanche of rewards. He had not only won, he had dominated. Baye appeared in a flash of light. Donghai City Teleportation Plaza. The city was silent. Empty. No other player had reached level 10. He was utterly alone at the top. A smirk crossed his face. Time to test his new toy. "Come forth, Frost Dragon." The tiny creature leaped from his shoulder. It swelled in size. Bones cracked and reformed. In seconds, the colossal beast towered over the plaza. He jumped onto its back. With a mighty flap of its wings, they ascended, soaring over the city towards his destiny. He landed before the city lord's palace. Situji stood waiting. "Little guy, you far exceeded my expectations." The old man's eyes twinkled. "But have your little fellow shrink down. This place cannot withstand its thrashing." Baye complied, the dragon returning to his shoulder. They walked into the opulent hall. "Your profession," Situji began, "is not a simple overlord class." He sat down, a knowing look on his face. Baye was intrigued. He knew he was special, but this powerful being saw even more. The quest officially completed. No rewards. Stingy, Baye thought. Situji began his lesson. There are tiers of professions. Normal, hidden, unique, and finally, exclusive. Your Death Overlord is the highest tier. How you reached it so early baffles me. Baye kept his greatest secret. The promotion system remained his alone. "Do not rejoice too soon," Situji warned. "For the Death Overlord to advance, you must experience a sufficient amount of death." He unfurled a map of the world. A massive war was coming. Baye's path to power was paved with conflict. "But national borders are closed," Baye pointed out. Situji smiled. "There are ways." He presented a contract and a picture of a man named Huaijian. This was a pact with the Divine Dragon Palace. An unbreakable bond. He would fight for the Empire in other nations. The rewards for his service were great. A future recommendation to the Divine Dragon Palace. And a parting gift. Situji handed him a small, ornate token. The Donghai Token 007. It made him the master of Courtyard Number 7. He now owned prime real estate in a Tier 1 city. His power and his wealth were growing beyond imagination. Situji extended a generous hand. A future with the Divine Dragon Palace. An immediate gift. Baye accepted the small, jade-like token. Unrestricted access. A system alert confirmed its value. Donghai Token 007. He was now the owner of prime real estate. A Tier 1 city. His mind reeled. Property ownership? His wealth was exploding. The city lord explained the token's power. Baye's mind went to a darker place. A question burned in his throat. His eyes flashed with crimson malice. "Can I kill someone?" Situji froze. The shift was jarring. The killing intent was real. Baye held the token tight. A few enemies needed to be disposed of. With his new directive, Bai Yi left the estate. He was an overlord, a bringer of death. He would carve his own path. He summoned his mighty bone dragon. It roared to life. They soared high above Donghai City. The scale was immense, almost as large as the empire's capital. This was his new domain. The dragon landed before a magnificent palace. This was it, courtyard number 7. Bai Yi strode forward. 2 guards moved to intercept. Their spears crossed. A firm command. Private property. No entry. Bai Yi's expression remained neutral. He simply raised an eyebrow. Oh. He didn't argue. He didn't fight. He simply flashed the Donghai token. The guard's eyes went wide. He recognized the emblem instantly. Their defiance melted into reverence. Lord Bai Yi. They bowed deeply. The gates were opened. Naturally, my lord may enter. Bai Yi walked into the enormous courtyard. The fountain was pristine. The grounds were perfect. A system prompt appeared. He could rename it. A smirk played on his lips. Bai Yi Estate. It was done. A sign manifested above the door. This was now his primary resurrection point. Welcome home. The interior was even more lavish. Fully furnished. Move-in ready. The city lord's generosity was boundless. Bai Yi collapsed onto a plush sofa. Finally, a moment to breathe. A perfect time to grow even stronger. It was time to learn a new skill. He opened his codex. Soul points vanished in a flash. The price was steep, but worth it. A new SSS rank skill. Death Realm Warp. It was teleportation. The exact mobility he lacked. A grin spread across his face. This changed everything. No time to waste. Let's test it out. He focused his will. A swirling blue portal opened before him. In a flash, he vanished. He reappeared instantly, right behind one of his own guards. The soldier jumped in shock. Bai Yi waved him off. Just a test. But could it do more? He focused again, connecting the portal to his summoned space. A torrent of dark energy erupted. Skeletons poured through the warp gate. Awe struck him. It was stronger than he imagined. A precision drop for his undead legion. He was practically invincible. Power was secured. Now for wealth. He remembered a certain merchant. He found him in the city streets. A quick exchange. He had used his promotion skill, upgrading low-level stones. He flipped them for a fortune. A single transaction. 200,000 gold coins. Next stop, the auction house. He strode through the city. Purpose in every step. The auction house was a testament to wealth. Gold and marble gleamed everywhere. The air itself smelled of money. A place to burn fortunes. Or, for him, a place to build one. He approached the grand staircase. A woman in a sharp suit blocked his path. Apologies, sir. The second floor was for VIPs. She pointed to the sign. The cheapest ticket, 1,000 gold coins. The most expensive, 100,000. The stakes here were high. Bai Yi was amused. He flashed the Donghai token. Can this get me a discount? The woman's eyes widened in disbelief. An esteemed guest of the city lord. Her entire demeanor changed. She handed him a black VIP card. Room 007 was his. Permanently. Free of charge. She detailed the other perks. Handling fees were halved. An interest-free loan of 10,000 soul coins. Bai Yi paused. Soul coins. He learned the truth of this world. Gold was for commoners. Soul coins were the real currency. Forged from time energy. From lifespan itself. A plan formed. He produced a bowl of radiant gems. Can these be sold for soul coins? The woman eagerly confirmed. Each one was worth a small fortune. Auction all of them, he commanded. Strictly for soul coins. She took the gems and hurried to make arrangements. Just as she left, a system alert chimed. A new message. Miles away, at the city's entrance, a portal shimmered. His allies had arrived. They looked around the massive city, wondering where they were supposed to meet him. Suddenly, a shadow passed overhead. A giant dragon. The crowd panicked, but his friends recognized the spectral beast instantly. It was Bai Yi's mount. He landed gracefully. They were impressed. Their leveling speed was fast, but his was on another level. The leader of the group stepped forward. She handed him a pouch of coins, the rest of their payment. As he turned to leave, she stopped him. Wait. She unfurled a dark scroll. A legendary item. Parchment of fate. A gambler's dream. A pure roll of the dice. Bai Yi's interest was piqued. How much? She smiled slyly. It's not for sale. This wasn't a transaction. It was a proposal. She wanted a deep partnership. Just then, another player teleported nearby, surprised to see them all gathered. The city was getting crowded. She smiled, her voice laced with cunning. Not selling. Bai Yi paused. This was unexpected. Brother Bai Yi, she began, unfurling the scroll. I want a solid partnership. His interest was piqued. A legendary item was a powerful bargaining chip. Tell me, he said, What kind of partnership? Suddenly, a portal tore open reality. A heavily armored player stepped through. He stared in shock. You guys made it to Donhai City before me? He seethed with frustration. He knew S-Rank talents were flooding the city. He just had to wait for that treacherous pair to arrive. Another portal shimmered. 2 players walked out, marveling at the city. But Baiye's focus sharpened. His friend saw the shift. Something was wrong. Skeleton warriors, Baiye commanded, his voice cold. Surround the area. His undead legion erupted from the ground. They formed a wall, sealing the teleportation plaza. No one would leave. His allies watched, stunned by the scale of his summons. The young mage knew to trust him. Hold your ground, the leader said. He must have his reasons. The trapped crowd panicked. Their stats were dropping. Baiye stepped forward. There is no need to panic. I just need cooperation. If you wish to leave, you do so one by one. Through this exit. 2 fools chose defiance. Who do you think you are? They roared. A blur of impossible speed. A flash of power. They collapsed, clutching their chests. How did he even strike? One gasped. I didn't see him move. The crowd recoiled in terror. He had stolen their very lifespan. Baiye's gaze swept over the silent crowd. His voice was quiet, but carried immense weight. Does anyone else have an objection? Silence. His spectral dragon circled above, a silent threat. Then, let us begin. He would find the 2 he was looking for. He would have his revenge. Then, they appeared. From a vortex of fire and light, Mortal Misty Ring, and Rising Sunday. The crowd whispered their names. The woman looked up, her eyes wide with shock. It's actually him. Rising Sun stared in disbelief. Su Mubai is Baiye. Baiye heard their voices. A cold smile touched his lips. You've finally shown yourselves. Rising Sun, whose name was Zhao Su, urged his partner on. Rian, our future depends on you. She was confident. I'll have him eating out of my hand, she sneered. She ran forward, calling his old name. Mubai. Baiye's face was a mask of cold fury. Scatter, he barked at the crowd. Clear out. Rian feigned tears. Mubai, do you know how hard I looked for you? Baiye's voice was ice. What a coincidence. So have I. Zhao Su tried to play along. But Baiye cut him off. He knew. Zhao Su, Baiye began, his tone dropping to a deadly whisper. Back when you pulled the plug on my life support, you were a lot more cocky, weren't you? The truth was out. The ultimate betrayal. Baiye pointed. Boys, teach him a lesson. Zhao Su's face went white with terror. The skeleton warriors surged forward. The meaning? Baiye asked with mock sincerity. I'm repaying your loyalty. Hack him to pieces. Screams filled the air. Rian watched, horrified. He was actually going to kill him. Zhao Su fell, bloodied and broken. A misunderstanding. He pleaded. Baiye loomed over him. Tell me, what does death feel like? A shadow aura exploded around him. His eyes burned red. Care to experience it firsthand. A single, brutal slash. A system message flashed. Rising Sun was obliterated. Baiye turned. Next up, it's your turn, Rian. Rian trembled. Weren't you searching for me? Baiye asked. Why are you so far away? She knew. He knew everything. Just then, his friends shouted a warning. City guards were approaching. I'm fine, Baiye told them. Handle your business. I'll contact you later. A guard captain on a griffin landed. He noted the disturbance. Baiye was dismissive. Rest assured, I found the person I was looking for. This will be over soon. He grabbed the terrified Rian. His spectral dragon landed with a thud. Rian, we're not done. Follow me to the resurrection hall. He flew off, dragging his screaming prize. The guard captain watched. He knew this was far from over. Let's move. To the resurrection hall. At the hall, Zhao Su reappeared. He coughed, having lost 10 years of life. Then he saw them. Baiye arrived, throwing Rian to the floor. Wait, she cried. I can explain. Baiye towered over the pathetic pair. Zhao Su, you just experienced death. How was it? Rian clung to his leg, pleading. He forced me. Have you forgotten our 5 years? His face was stone. You're right. 5 years of devotion. I'll repay it in full. He pointed. Kill her. A single strike. Her head fell. Zhao Su watched, broken. It was over. For her. 5 years of devotion. He would repay it in full. His voice was ice. Kill her. The skeleton obeyed. One swift strike. Rian's head fell. Her scream cut short. Zhao Su could only watch, broken. It's over. Zhao Su fell to his knees. B-Boss Su. I was wrong. His pride was gone. Only terror remained. Baiye looked down, his face a mask of contempt. Is that so? He didn't wait for an answer. Then pay with your life. A spike of shadow erupted from the ground. It pierced Zhao Su. He needed a manual revival. Otherwise, his soul would linger here for 30 minutes. A ghost in his own failure. Bai Yi walked away. He left their bodies on the cold stone. They had received what they deserved. A flash of light. Rian respawned. A system notification confirmed her penalty. 10 years of lifespan gone. She scrambled towards Bai Yi, begging, "If you kill me again, I'll really die." He simply stared, his expression unreadable. "When you two pulled the plug on my life support, was the situation just like this?" He answered with a vicious kick. Rian flew through the air, slamming against the far wall. "Killing you would only dirty my hands," he snarled. "Get lost." He took a deep, cleansing breath. Finally, revenge was complete. It was time to truly enjoy the myriad worlds. The guards returned, but Bai Yi waved them off. Those two got the punishment they deserved. He assured them the trouble was over. They took their leave, flying off on their griffins. Bai Yi looked to the sky, a sigh of relief, a new resolve. Next up, farm some loot, earn some gold, and upgrade my gear. Let's move. A portal shimmered open in a bustling city square. Bai Yi stepped through. He had spent the entire day scouring 10 cities, flipping goods on the market. It was profitable, but time-consuming. Just then, a message flashed. A business proposition from a player named Wealthy Under Heaven. He smirked. Talk about perfect timing. The meeting took place in a private, opulent dining room. A lavish feast was untouched. His new acquaintance didn't waste time. "I won't beat around the bush. You know my talent is for making money. No one can beat me." She proposed a close partnership. Bai Yi raised a finger. "I'm not interested in a partnership. However, I don't need a proxy." He emptied a sack onto the table. A cascade of glowing purple crystals. Her eyes went wide with shock. He explained his S-Rank talent. "My talent allows me to consume a certain amount of resources to upgrade any item by an entire tier." The implications were staggering. A talent like that actually exists. He laid out the terms. A 1% cut. You handle all my commercial affairs. She agreed, but had one condition. "I need an advance. 10 million gold coins. I need to change my class." Bai Yi choked. 10 million? Are you joking? She leaned forward, her eyes gleaming. "I'll sign a soul contract. Help me with this, and I'll only keep a tenth of all profits." Her character screen appeared. Wealthy Under Heaven. A unique hidden class, god of wealth, waited to be unlocked. The key, possessing over 10 million gold. "Are you serious?" he asked, the gears turning in his head. "Never been more serious," she replied. He smiled. "Then, pleasure doing business with you." They shook hands. A ding contract materialized and was signed. Effective immediately, she would handle his business, and 95% of her future wealth was his. The penalty for violation, soul obliteration. "Here's the 10 million. Go change your class." The coins were transferred. A pillar of brilliant gold light erupted around her. "Congratulations, your class change is successful." The light faded. She stood there, transformed. "Did you learn any new skills?" he asked. "No," she replied. "I still only have 2. Her skills were incredible. An A-rank passive, Money Shield, its strength directly tied to her wealth. And a class-exclusive item, the God of Wealth Ingot. Untradeable, undroppable. It boosted all her stats. Bai Yi recognized it for what it was. A foundation of power, much like his own death grimoire. Suddenly, she cried out in joy. "But my money tree has grown so much bigger." A massive, golden tree of light appeared behind her. It shimmered, dropping a shower of glowing red coins. "Soul coins. 680 of them," she cheered. "And a high-grade life soul stone, too." She rushed to him, holding out the soul stone. "Boss White, hurry up. Show off your talent. Upgrade this." He took the crystal. With a single word, upgrade, he channeled his power. The stone pulsed. It reformed, larger and more brilliant. A life soul crystal treasure. 100 years of life upon absorption. She stared, speechless. 100 years. A system announcement blared across the entire region. The Myriad Worlds game was officially open. Novice villages were closing. The leaderboards were live. And at the very top of the level leaderboard, one name stood alone. First place, White Knight, level 20. The next highest player was only level 11. The novice protection was over. The true game had begun. Bai Yi handed her a black card. A VIP card for the East Sea City Auction House. "I also have some real estate for you to manage." She nodded. "Understood, boss." "Where are you off to?" He was already turning to leave. "I'm going to turn in a quest." He arrived at Red Maple City's waterfall. There, a man was painting. "Senior Huaijian, I'm here to turn in the quest." The man turned, a smirk on his face. "Oh ho, kid, you're back fast. Hurry up, what do you think of this old man's painting?" It was a childish drawing. Bai Bai Yi laid the flattery on thick. Senior's painting is the work of the gods. Flawless. The man roared with laughter. Then his expression sharpened. Not bad. To think a kid like you is actually the Lord of Death. Is the quest complete? The old painter gestured proudly. A childish scrawl of a waterfall. Come, have a look. Bai Yi inspected the masterpiece. A plan formed. He unleashed a torrent of praise. Senior, this is divine craftsmanship. Absolute perfection. The old man roared with laughter, his ego stroked. Then his eyes sharpened, the friendly facade dropping. Not bad, he conceded. To think a kid like you is the Death Overlord. Have you completed the quest? Bai Yi revealed his purpose. A mountain of gold materialized. 10,000 ancient gold coins. The painter's eyes widened with greed. He cackled, a fortune in his grasp. If you find more, don't forget your old pal. Bai Yi smiled. A useful connection. Of course, Senior. I'd never forget you. Business concluded, the painter offered a reward. Green energy swirled in his hand. It coalesced into a gleaming sword, piercing the ground before Bai Yi. A hidden quest was complete. A new skill appeared. Shadow-chasing sword aura. Legendary tier. It summoned an avatar of a man named Huai Jian. Bai Yi's mind reeled. An avatar with legendary combat prowess. The power of Huai Jian was unimaginable. Bai Yi had one more request. He produced a sealed letter. Senior, a favor. The man read it, his expression hardening. You're trying to cross the national border. Bai Yi confirmed. I am. The painter grinned. In that case, this old man can give you a lift. A swirling green vortex tore open the sky. Bai Yi was whisked away instantly. Wait, right this second. Far below, his allies watched the anomaly. They recognized his power immediately. The boss is stirring up trouble again. Their leader silenced the questions. Focus on our tasks. He is the man who will lead us to the absolute pinnacle. They arrived in a field of flowers. The Tianqi Kingdom. The peace was short-lived. System alerts flooded by Ye's vision. A server-wide announcement. He was the first to cross a national border. His peerless trailblazer title upgraded. But with glory came a price. He was branded an invader. A target for all factions and players in this new land. The old painter vanished. Bai Yi was alone. Enemy territory. He couldn't enter the main city. A stroll was his only option. A rustle. A shadow. He looked up. A monstrosity descended. A dark-feathered demonic vulture. Its level and health were hidden. This was a true predator. The ground shattered. The vulture's dive attack sent Bai Yi tumbling into the crater. He twisted in midair, landing with a crouch. He would not be prey. Frost Dragon, get out here. From the depths of his shadow, the spectral beast emerged. It roared, ethereal flames dancing on its form. The hunt was on. The two-headed vulture screeched. Twin beams of destructive purple energy shot forth. The Frost Dragon met the assault head-on. A torrent of frigid breath erupted from its jaws. Ice and chaos collided. A blinding explosion rocked the sky. The vulture recoiled, enraged. Charge! Bai Yi commanded. The Frost Dragon became a blur of black and blue. It slammed into the giant bird. Talons met scales. The vulture raked its claws across the dragon's side, tearing through spectral flesh with searing energy. His mount held strong, unflinching. This fight was a waste of time. Bai Yi initiated his upgraded skill, Deaf Realm Warp. In a flash, he was 1,600 meters away. The vulture stared into empty sky, confused. Bai Yi smirked from a distance. Let me give you a little surprise. He opened portals in the sky. An army of skeletons descended. The skeletal warriors crashed into the vulture. Bone-crushing impact. The beast shrieked, now swarmed by elites. Bai Yi laughed. Let's see you get smashed to bits now. He had seen enough. Mounting his Frost Dragon, he flew away. Let's go. We're done messing with it. On the outskirts of Liang City, a player party searched. Where is that Bai Yi? I'll fight him to the death. They boasted, unaware they were being watched. Bai Yi stood just beyond the trees, a predatory glint in his eye. A bunch of scrubs, he muttered. First, let me introduce you to my boys. The skeletal knights materialized from nothing. The players froze. Their bravado vanished. These are elite bosses. A cold wave of terror washed over them. One knight raised its glowing sword. It fell in a silent arc. A player was bisected. Yeah, it's a skeleton warrior. Run. Whispers of a bounty ignited greed. Back off, he's mine. That prize has my name on it. An old guild leader demanded answers from a survivor. The man trembled. 3 massive skeleton warriors. My system log said it was Bai Yi. The word skeletons chilled the air. He was a monster. The old leader saw an opportunity. Rally the players, he commanded. We'll use numbers. But his eyes held a greedy glint. He would steal the final blow. Meanwhile, Bai Yi waited. Took you long enough, he muttered. The foolish mob approached their doom. Stop hiding, coward, they taunted. Their bravado was meaningless. Bai Yi emerged, his glowing book of death in hand. He stretched. In that instant, a player fell. A system notification confirmed the kill. Bai Yi's eyes narrowed. All right, let's have some real fun. Dark energy pulsed around him. Boys, go play with them. His voice was cold. Leave them at exactly 1 HP. They would know absolute despair. The skeletal horde materialized. Panic erupted. Look out. The skeleton warriors are back. A few brave fools charged. It's Bai Yi. Take him down. Their flames flickered and died. A single skeleton warrior met their charge. Its spectral blade swung once. Their bodies fell. Screams echoed. Help! Aya! Huh? I'm not dead. A player stared at his 1 HP. Fear turned to foolish arrogance. Charge, he screamed. Their blades clanged uselessly against bone. 0 damage. Their attacks were utterly meaningless. Bai Yi watched in disgust. The players began fighting each other. What trash, he scoffed. He longed for a true slaughter. Suddenly, the players cheered. The city guards are here. They believed they were saved. 3 mounted knights thundered closer. Halt, invader! Bai Yi's lips curled into a smirk. City guards? Are they strong? He would find out. Boys, charge. A lone skeleton warrior faced the assault. Steel met bone. The knight's lance shattered the warrior. Instantly, Bai Yi's eyes widened. They one-shot his soldier? He had underestimated them. These were not players. They were native powerhouses. The invader is over there. Charge. He was spotted. A knight bore down on him. Bai Yi crouched low. A massive golden sigil erupted. Death gazed. The world turned gold. The knight dissolved. Over 40,000 damage. The players stared in horror. Seems they're nothing special after all. But it was still too dangerous. Bye-bye. A swirling blue portal opened. Death Realm Warp. The guards were left bewildered. Bai Yi stepped out into a desolate, ruined city. Corpses littered the streets. A shadow passed overhead. His blood ran cold. He was in trouble. A monstrous, 2-headed vulture screeched. Its red eyes fixed on him. This beast, it had caused this destruction. He had warped into its nest. A beam of raw energy shot from its beak. Dodged. Bai Yi threw himself aside. The beast's attention shifted. A new squadron arrived. Riders on smaller vultures. The dark-feathered demonic vultures. Perfect timing, Bai Yi murmured, melting into the shadows. Glad you could draw its aggro. The new arrivals were in chaos. Captain, we need backup. The captain saw the broken seal. He knew they were doomed. Watching from afar, Bai Yi's eyes gleamed. Chaos meant treasure, and a chance to test his skill. Captain, it's that invader, a guard shouted. Bai Yi ignored them. He raised his hand toward the great beast. Promotion. Golden energy engulfed the vulture. It warped. It grew. It became a legendary tier boss. The guards stared in pure horror. The captain's face went white. It was too late for reinforcements. The evolved boss swelled with dark power. Shadowy tendrils erupted. Retreat, the captain screamed. With its current power, we are no match for it. They tried to flee. The legendary beast was too fast. It plucked them from the sky. Their retreat became a slaughter. Quick, lure it away, the captain bellowed. Call for backup. It was a massacre. Panic erupted in the skies. Fall back, the captain screamed. The legendary beast was a nightmare of shadow and rage. With its current strength, we're no match for it. His men scattered, but there was no escape. Talons ripped through armor. Bodies fell from the sky. In his final moments, the captain roared a desperate plea. Hurry, lure it away, call for backup. It was a massacre. A swirl of blue energy. Bai Yi stepped through the portal. A faint smirk touched his lips. That should cause enough chaos for them. The air crackled with fury. Bai Yi, you invader. The surviving guard captain glared, his eyes burning with hate. Just who are you? Bai Yi merely looked amused. Far away, in the Tianqi kingdom, Bai Yi stood on the desolate Mount Shifeng. His treasure map led him to this quiet canyon. He surveyed the area. Strange. No elite mobs guarding the treasure. Only silence. A system alert confirmed his location. A dark gold-tier treasure chest. It sat there unguarded. Unlocked. Suspicion coiled in his gut. This felt too easy. A sudden stroke of luck this good was almost always a trap. A freebie was tempting, but he could do better. Bai Yi's hand pulsed with golden energy. Promotion. The chest erupted in light. It transformed. Now, an epic tier treasure chest. But the upgrade came with a catch. The chest was now locked. The cost to unlock it, 36 space crystals. His satisfaction vanished instantly. What the heck, he growled. He just wanted a free upgrade. Now it was sealed behind a mysterious new item. He leaned in, studying the lock. What exactly is a space crystal? He needed answers fast. A quick message said, "Wealthy under heaven, do me a favor." He needed to know about space crystals. And if possible, he needed 36 of them. Now, he tucked the chest under his arm. Time to leave. A new message chimed. "Good afternoon, boss." The report was concise. Space crystals were high-level, universal crafting materials. They powered city teleporters and opened high-tier chests. A trade window appeared. 36 space crystals. Received. He sent his next order. Keep an eye on the auction. Buy all ice-type or death-type materials. The reply was instant. Understood, boss. The golden chest sat before him. Unlock. The 36 crystals vaporized. Light exploded from the container. An item floated from the radiance. An epic tier item. The Ring of Luck. He examined it. The description was frustratingly vague. May bring you good fortune. Were its stats just not unlocked yet? A kingdom-wide announcement shattered the quiet. Sichuan's city had been destroyed. The culprit, the legendary tier dark-feathered demonic vulture. A second announcement named him. The bounty on Invader by Yi had been doubled. He blinked. Was that vulture really that fierce? Panic had seized Jingli City. The players were trapped. How are we supposed to level up? One cried. He literally wiped the city off the map. Another wailed. A sense of hopelessness washed over the crowd. Against a monster like Bai Yi, how could they ever hope to compete? Bai Yi found a new sanctuary, the Black Mist Valley, a desolate, forgotten landscape. This should be safe enough. He smiled, feeling the power he'd accumulated. He had gathered enough soul points. It was time. He opened the Death Codex. A quest window appeared. Class advancement, approaching death. The requirement, reduce his health to exactly 1 HP. He burst out laughing. His permanent 1 HP state was a curse that had just become a blessing. For me, this quest is way too easy. The system instantly registered his state. Quest complete. A torrent of power flooded his being. He was breaking through. Player Bai Yi had officially reached a Tier 2 profession. The feeling was incredible. The true power of the Death Overlord. He received a skill conversion privilege. He did not hesitate. Promotion. His S-Rank life share became SS Rank Death Contract. His SS Rank Death Levy became SSS Rank Death Edict. The new skills were godlike. All summoned creatures respawn. Attribute boosts. Increased summon space. He could create an unstoppable army. As power surged through him, he felt a distant echo. A psychic link. Through the valley's opening, he saw it. The frost dragon's eye blazed. It was leveling up with him. The dragon surpassed level 30. It entered its juvenile stage. Its form sharpened, growing more lethal. Its power had magnified. Aya's grin was sharp and predatory. Now things are getting interesting. He looked to his evolved dragon. Let's go. We're going to take care of that bald bird. This was just the beginning. The Tianqi Kingdom would become the main stage for his Scourge army. They soared back toward civilization. The vulture was hiding. It didn't matter. He spotted players gathering below. Scheming. Want to go down and play with them for a bit, he murmured to his dragon. Below, the players huddled, trying to grind under the cover of night. Their fear was a palpable thing. The players whispered rumors about the demon Bai Yi. How strong was he? Could he really summon legions of undead? Then, a scream. A finger pointed skyward. Look, what is that? The frost dragon descended, blasting the ground with ice. Terror struck them dumb. Then, the panic shouts. It's Bai Yi. Bai Yi is here. Back in the Black Mist Valley, Bai Yi opened a new portal. Destination, Shaoshan City. A wicked smile crossed his face. You will be the stage for the official debut of my Scourge army. He turned to his powerful dragon. Frost, go play by yourself. This next part required a certain touch. He arrived in the new zone. It seemed empty, weak. Is this a beginner zone? He scoffed. His undead legions materialized from shadow. They charged the local mobs. The impact was shocking. Massive damage numbers erupted over his minions. Holy crap, he gasped. These aren't beginner mobs at all. His powerful army was being shredded. These creatures were far stronger than he'd anticipated. A wry smile touched his lips. Time to show them what true power looks like. His hand glowed with an eerie light. Come forth, Headless Horseman. The damage numbers were insane. Holy crap, Bai Yi gasped. These were no basic mobs. Their health and damage were off the charts. His army was crumbling. A wry smile touched his lips. It was time to get serious. A ball of light condensed in his hand. It's time I show you what I've got. Come forth, Headless Horseman. A spectral steed materialized from shadow. Astride it sat a figure of pure dread. Blue flame erupted where its head should be. The headless horseman had arrived. Bai Yi pointed, his eyes burning with malice. Less talking, more killing. Take it out. The horseman needed no further command. It became a blur of motion. Its blade, wreathed in chilling energy, arced through the air. A death god slash tore through reality itself. A wave of absolute darkness consumed the enemy. Bai Yi watched, stunned. I didn't expect the headless horseman to be this wild. Notifications flooded his vision. A bronze-tier boss, felled. Massive experience gained. New skill books. A wolf fang dagger. But then, something else happened. A strange light enveloped his minions. His remaining skeletons began to transform. Bone and armor twisted and grew. They became larger, more menacing. Their stats soared. The skeletons had evolved. They were skeleton kings. Bai Yi's eyes widened, a manic grin spreading across his face. Now I can finally build my true skeleton legion. He pieced it together instantly. His SSS rank Death Lord talent boosted the summons. He now commanded a balanced force. Melee and ranged units, perfectly formed. He threw his head back and roared with laughter. With his new army, he would sweep across these lands. Charge, kill all their mobs, leave nothing for them to farm. The experience poured in. Boss after boss fell to his legion. A notification chimed. Level 31. His power grew. Suddenly, one of his newly crowned skeleton kings paused. It pointed. A shimmering orange rip in space had appeared. A portal. Oh, did we discover a secret dungeon instance? The system confirmed it. The level 60 Myriad Poison Snake Denver. A hell tier, maximum difficulty. Bai Yi scoffed at the danger. The level gap is steep. I better test the waters first. He stepped through the swirling gateway. Inside, he gave the order. Headless Horseman, take your subordinates and start clearing the mobs. Meanwhile, in Shaoshan City, word of the chaos spread. An official stormed into a grand hall. What did you say? How dare he target our city? Before a gathered council, a warrior knelt. Their lord, Matsumoto, sat in judgment. Hold him off with everything you have. I am coming personally to arrest this invader. His aura flared, a promise of retribution. He would capture Bai Yi, for the future of his people. Far away, where Bai Yi had left it, the frost dragon roared. It was beset on all sides. Griffin-mounted city guards swarmed it. Coming here just to court death, one guard sneered. Does Bai Yi really think the city guards are made of mud? The command was given. Attack. Focus your fire. On a nearby rooftop, a player grinned. My A-rank talent, broadcast, can finally be put to use. His hands glowed. I'm going to livestream Bai Yi's capture to the entire Tianqi kingdom. The stream went live just as the dragon unleashed a devastating ice attack, freezing the rooftop players solid. Back inside the dungeon, a sharp alert chimed in Bai Yi's mind. Your mount is under attack. He smirked. They actually dare to attack my mount. Perfect timing. The dungeon was nearly clear. Time to show you who you're messing with. Outside, the frost dragon was trapped. A powerful aura slammed down from above. A figure in heavy samurai armor landed with a crash. Lord Matsumoto had arrived. He pointed his spear towards the sky. Bai Yi, get your tail out here. Matsumoto's voice boomed with authority. I'll count to 3. Otherwise, get ready to collect this frost dragon's corpse. He began the count. 1, but he stopped. His eyes went wide with disbelief. What? What is that? A portal tore open. Out stepped the skeleton kings, their spectral forms radiating immense power. Vicious snakes slithered from the void, terrifying the guards. From the swirling darkness, Bai Yi emerged, a predator enjoying their fear. I'll toss in these little mobs for you guys to play with. Matsumoto stared, frozen. Above him, another portal spun into existence. The headless horseman burst forth, its spectral steed galloping on air. It raised its blade, locking onto the guards below. Death charge. The command echoed in their minds. The guards scoffed, their fear replaced by arrogance. Brothers, don't be afraid. They're just some level 30 skeleton grots. They charged forward, a fatal mistake. Bai Yi just smiled. This is a gift I've painstakingly prepared for you all. A skeleton king's sword glowed. A heavy strike was coming. One guard, a level 60 elite, braced for impact. They're only level 30. There's no way they can withstand my full-powered strike. But as the spectral blade connected, a blinding light erupted. A single, impossible number flashed above his head. -90,000. It was an instant kill. Bai Yi savored the moment. A wicked grin spread across his face. A gift just for you. He channeled his power. 500 death energy points gone in an instant. The Skeleton King Warrior absorbed the power, its attributes skyrocketing. The guard captain scoffed. It was just a level 30 summon. How could it withstand my full power strike? He sneered. His blade descended. A pillar of light erupted. The number that flashed was impossible, -90,000. An instant kill. The captain, a proud level 60 elite, could not believe his eyes. His body froze. A bead of sweat traced its way down his temple. Then, a new threat. A flash of light. A fatal snipe. A hole punched clean through his chest. He stared down, bewildered. He touched the wound, then his face. What? Another guard captain, enraged, charged forward. Die, he screamed, putting all his might into the blow. The attack landed. The damage was pathetic. -461. He looked up from his pathetic strike. A towering, skeletal silhouette loomed over him. The other city guards screamed in terror. He only dealt 3 digits of damage, they cried. We're doomed. Run. But Bai Yi knew better. His death contract was active, spreading all incoming damage across his entire legion. The guard captain's face contorted in a mask of pure horror. From the undead horde, a colossal figure gathered a storm of soul fire. On the city walls, a samurai commander roared. Activate the grand defense array. Fire everything. The siege of Shaoshan City had begun. Bai Yi watched the chaos unfold, a predator enjoying his hot. Let's see how long you can last. His minions mocked the defenders, their taunts echoing with the city guards' panicked cries for reinforcements. Far away, in the Tianxi Kingdom's royal capital, a secret society convened. The president of the society, Qi Yaozong, faced a mysterious man with long, purple hair. Just what is it that you want, Your Excellency? The man smiled, sipping his tea. What I want is none of your concern. A flash of green light erupted from his cup, blasting an officer aside. Golden energy and countless coins swirled around the purple-haired man. He floated, a figure of immense and unpredictable power. The society members stared in awe and terror. Who is this big shot? What is he plotting? A messenger stumbled into the garden, gasping. President, the city lord of Shaoshan is requesting reinforcements. Bai Yi is attacking. The purple-haired man laughed. Not bad, kid. You're making quite the scene. Qi Yaozong ordered his man to lead a team, but the strange visitor had other plans. He moved like lightning, blocking their path. Golden energy rained down, pinning the soldiers. As long as I'm here, none of you are leaving. He rose into the air, a maelstrom of power swirling around him. Stay and play with this old man for a while. Experience the sharpness of my sword. Meanwhile, Bai Yi had grown bored of the siege. Time to get down to business. His death codex had a new quest, kill an epic tier boss. He followed the trail, landing in a dark forest. A monstrous snake, crackling with purple energy, erupted from the ground. Bai Yi was unimpressed. Boys, get him. His skeleton legion materialized, charging the beast. A warrior smashed its hammer into the snake's head, but the scales were like steel. Bai Yi watched, a smirk playing on his lips. Let's see if you can withstand my legion. The blow barely scratched the serpent. Oh ho, its snakeskin is quite tough. Bai Yi changed tactics instantly. Hit it with magic attacks. The skeleton's hands began to glow. Turn this snake into a bowl of soup for me. Blue fireballs slammed into the massive snake. It hissed and thrashed, but the relentless barrage overwhelmed it. The magical siege was too much. Bai Yi stood over the valley, watching his army tear the beast apart. No matter how tough you are, you can't withstand this. The azure-scaled snake chieftain fell. A flood of notifications appeared. Bai Yi had gained a massive EXP bonus and leveled up to 42. He had also achieved the first clear of a dungeon. Killing a boss feels amazing, he mused. I just skipped levels directly. He led his army deeper into the cave. Moving on. A system announcement echoed across the entire Tianxi Kingdom. Players everywhere were stunned. Wasn't he attacking Shaoshan City? He just reverse-leveled someone, and now he's farming a boss. The outcry was immediate. Is he a god? Or is this a glitch? In the Divine Dragon Empire, players stared at the leaderboard in disbelief. Bai Yi was first place at level 42. Second place was a mere level 14. As they reeled, the purple-haired man appeared in the skies above the Tianxi royal capital, descending upon the city like a hawk. President Qi Yaozong looked up, furious. Just who are you? What are you doing here? The man grinned. I'm here to pick up a few things. He shot towards a grand building, the royal treasury. Quick, chase him. See what he's after. They were too late. The guards arrived to find the treasury doors wide open. Inside, A single, empty chest lay on the floor. Every last scrap was gone. An announcement declared the treasury had been robbed, penalizing all players in the kingdom. The officials fell to their knees. It's over. We're finished. The guards stared into the abyss. The royal treasury, empty. A single looted chest was all that remained. System announcements blared across the kingdom. A penalty for all players. They fell to their knees, utterly ruined. Who could have done this? Their captain roared. Far from the chaos, Bai stood cloaked in shadow. The spoils of his heist were legendary. He was a phantom, a whisper of destruction, and his work had only just begun. With his treasure secure, Bai made his exit. He marched his skeletal legions out of the cavern. A sudden pulse of golden light. His death codex flared to life. A system alert flashed. It had detected clues. Clues leading to his legendary class equipment set. The tome projected a vision. A magnificent, sprawling city. The Sacred Beast Empire. He knew the name. A faction as powerful as the Divine Dragon Pavilion. This opponent required more than brute force. He needed a strategy. A shimmering portal tore open in Donghai City. Bai stepped through, finally back. His allies rushed to greet him, their faces alight with excitement. Boss, the entire Divine Dragon Empire knows you destroyed the Tianqi Kingdom. News traveled faster than he'd thought. The time was right. They needed to establish their merchant guild. He already had a name in mind. Let's call it the Myriad Worlds. An invitation appeared. He accepted. System prompts confirmed his new status. He was now the guild master. With the guild established, their first objective was clear. Let's go clear out the auction house. Bai commanded. On the wealth rankings, his name was first. 36 million soul coins. An untouchable fortune. His new economic empire would begin here. A global announcement shook the player base. The Myriad Worlds Merchant Guild was recruiting. The offer was unprecedented. Materials provided, a base salary, and commission. It was a dream deal. Hordes of players descended, desperate to join the new powerhouse. Bai watched the swelling ranks with cold calculation. First, recruit the best talent. Then, expand into every major city. A month passed in a blur of growth. His ambition hardened. The Myriad Worlds would soon span the entire Divine Dragon Empire. But such grand moves attracted dangerous attention. In a darkened chamber, an order was given. Investigate Bai's whereabouts immediately. A figure known as Ghost Hand accepted the mission. This Bai, he hissed, licking his blade, must die by my hand. His S-Rank Talent, Divine Concealment, made him the perfect killer. Bai sought counsel with City Lord Situ. He needed to reach the Sanctuary Empire, a higher-tier realm. The path was not simple. The Elder explained the requirements. An assessment exam at the Divine Dragon Academy, followed by further studies. Only then could he travel there. Bai's determination was unwavering. I'll take the exam right now. The City Lord smirked at his confidence. He channeled his power, tearing a portal open in the hall. Pass this first. The road ahead, you may have to walk alone. He watched the young man enter. Such arrogance, such potential. Bai stepped into the Lingxi wilderness. The exam area was surprisingly scenic, but peace was fleeting. A rhino charged from the brush. A blur of horns and fury. In a flash, a skeletal warrior materialized, blocking the beast. Bai barely flinched. Just a mob. Suddenly, the air itself ignited. Flames erupted from the ground, coalescing. A massive creature of fire and rage emerged. The Flaming Lion Emperor. Level 110. A dark gold-tier boss. Now, the real exam had begun. He did not hesitate. Boys, get to work. His undead army swarmed forward. Axes met flaming claws. A thunderous impact. But the damage numbers were shocking. His elite minions were taking massive damage. This was not going to be an easy fight. He changed his approach. Ranged units. Focus fire. A storm of projectiles slammed into the beast. Explosions lit up the field. The smoke cleared. The Lion Emperor stood there, completely unscathed. Its power was absolute. Bai adapted his strategy. Ranged units. Focus fire on it. A volley of spectral arrows launched. They struck the Lion Emperor. A massive explosion rocked the battlefield. But as the smoke cleared, the beast stood tall, utterly unharmed. This boss was different. Its defense was absolute. Bai's smirk widened. The initial probe was over. It was time to get serious. The Emperor roared in defiance. A pillar of fire descended. It aimed to incinerate the undead horde. But his minions stood firm. They raised a barrier against the inferno. The flames were overwhelming his front line. This thing is way too fierce. He had no other choice. I must use my ultimate move. Bai's hands surged with icy power. Frost. Come out quickly. A portal of shadow ripped open. The frost dragon emerged. It unleashed a torrent of pure ice. The beam slammed into the flaming lion. Fire met frost in a cataclysmic clash. The temperature plummeted. The Lion Emperor was encased in ice. Damage numbers floated in the air. Bai watched, slightly disappointed. I thought it would be tougher than this. The ice prison cracked. It shattered into a million pieces. The Lion Emperor's rage exploded. Its form darkened, eyes burning with hate. Oh ho, it's gone berserk, Bai grinned. This is getting interesting. This required a stronger champion. Skeleton King, charge, he commanded. From the shadows, the king emerged. At your command, master. His spectral steed galloped into the fray. The Lion Emperor spat a condensed fireball, but the Skeleton King was faster. His blade cleaved through the spell. It carved a deep gash in the beast. Massive damage erupted. The king's assault was only the beginning. Bai watched from above, orchestrating the chaos. It has quite a temper, he mused. Ranged units, focus fire. Another storm of projectiles rained down. Explosions tore the Emperor apart. The relentless assault was too much. The mighty beast finally fell. Bai watched its smoking corpse, satisfied. You couldn't withstand that, could you? A cascade of light filled the field. System messages appeared. Epic materials, gold, soul stones. The blessing of the goddess of luck. He smiled. That's quite a lot of loot. Suddenly, a figure appeared. He was sharply dressed. To pass the test so quickly, he noted. Your awakened class must be hidden. He bowed slightly. Hello, I am your receptionist. A golden portal shimmered into existence. Congratulations on passing the assessment. The receptionist beckoned. Please follow me to the Divine Dragon Academy. Bai's interest was piqued. This legendary place, he had to see it. They stepped through the portal. Before them stood a magnificent academy. Towers pierced the clouds. Whoa, it's quite majestic, Bai admitted. The receptionist led the way. Follow me to enrollment. Another student approached them. He was large and friendly. You're new too? What's your talent? Bai glanced at him coolly. I'm a necromancer. The student, a blood sacrifice priest, deflated. Oh, that's not a hidden class, is it? The student sighed about his own luck. Bai offered a consoling gesture. The receptionist interjected. Entering with a normal class is rare. He looked at Bai with respect. You must have worked very hard. Their guide stopped before a grand building. We've arrived. This is your dormitory. Bai and his new companion stared. Wow, as expected of the academy. They exclaimed. This is so cool. The receptionist's smile was thin. Ah, not that one. He pointed to a shabby building nearby. Freshmen can't use the hero dormitory. He explained the academy's hierarchy. You must earn your place. Laughter echoed from the hero dormitory. Senior students mocked them. Look at these new idiots. They sneered. Just weaklings with normal classes. Their powerful auras radiated contempt. Chinchin's face flushed with anger. Who are you calling a moron? He lunged forward. Bai caught his arm. Don't be impulsive. The receptionist quickly intervened. Fights meant expulsion. Challenges belonged in the arena. The taunts continued, sharp and cruel. Bai pulled his fuming friend away. You're no match for them. Not yet. Chinchin seethed with rage. Those guys are despicable. I'll show them. Bai remained calm. A smirk played on his lips. It was better to hide his true power. For now, this academy, with its cruel hierarchy, it was becoming more interesting by the second. The receptionist opened their door. The room was Spartan. Rest up for now, he instructed. Assembly is in 1 hour. They nodded. The first day was far from over. Meanwhile, his guild was abuzz. News of his venture had spread. The Divine Dragon Academy, a place for legends. His second-in-command took charge. Enough jealousy. We have our own work. Focus on leveling up. An hour later, the square was packed. Whispers filled the air. Rumors about the legendary Dean. Then he appeared. A veteran warrior with an eye patch. His voice boomed. I am the Dean. Welcome to the Divine Dragon Academy. His speech began. He spoke of history, of strength. The students felt a surge of pride, but his tone shifted. This is not the pinnacle, he warned. This is where the true cruelty begins. This academy operates by elimination. The Dean's words were absolute. Only the strong survive on the leaderboard. He raised his arms. Your goal is to become stronger. The crowd roared in response. The Dean gestured to the sky. For shimmering portals appeared. Now, welcome the 4 Grand Mentors. From the green portal, he emerged. Heishitong, head of the nature department. A red vortex swirled. A man of pure muscle stepped out. His aura radiated raw strength. By who? The head of the power department. Blue energy crackled. A calm, collected mage appeared. He carried an air of immense knowledge. Lelouch, the head of the magic department. Finally, a portal of dark purple opened. A woman in gothic attire stepped through. Her eye patch mirrored the dean's. This was Amanda, head of the ominous death department. At the Divine Dragon Academy, the air crackled, for portals of swirling energy ripped open the sky. An announcer's voice boomed. Please welcome the Academy's 4 great mentors. From a golden gate, a man emerged. Heston, mentor for the School of Nature. Then, a portal of ominous purple opened. A chilling aura seeped out. A woman in gothic attire stepped through. Her eye patch hinted at a dark past. This was Amanda, the mentor for the School of Death. The 4 mentors stood as titans. Each represented an ultimate path to power. The crowd of students erupted. Their choices now would forge their futures. A path of magic, of strength, of nature, or of death. A friend grabbed Bai Ye's arm. A frantic warning. You're screwed now. He spoke of Amanda's unique methods. A reputation for discipline with a leather whip. But for Bai Ye, a dark smirk played on his lips. I think I'm gonna love it here. Amanda's cold voice silenced her chosen students. Choosing the School of Death means choosing darkness. Her gaze was absolute. She gestured to the swirling vortex behind her. You lot, enter the portal first. As Bai Ye moved to enter, Amanda stopped him. You there? Wait. Her single eye bored into him, sensing an anomaly. You exude a different kind of death aura. She loomed closer, her presence overwhelming. What is your awakened class talent? Bai Ye's answer was deceptively simple. Professor, I'm just an ordinary necromancer. Amanda's eye narrowed. She could sense the power coiled beneath his casual facade. A cruel smile spread across her face. A new, grander purpose for this student was already forming in her mind. The next day, in a cold lecture hall, Amanda stood before her new class. She wasted no time. Today, we will discuss summoned beasts. With a flick of her wrist, flames erupted, coalescing into a roaring hellfire demon. Allow me to demonstrate. Bai Ye watched, a flicker of appreciation in his eyes. This mentor was strong. The classroom buzzed with excitement until one student dared to ask, Professor, will we have a chance to enter a ruin? Amanda's lips curled. I knew you would all be more interested in ruins. She immediately crushed their hope. For you as you are now, even the lowest level ruin is a near-certain death sentence. She explained their nature. Random, fleeting, and impossibly difficult. Once cleared, they disappear forever. Her lecture continued, painting a grim picture. Ruins were hundreds of times larger than secret realms. The only way to clear one was to find its divine artifact. 1 artifact per ruin. A single, ultimate prize. The students begged for just a glimpse. Amanda relented, a cruel smile on her face. A taste of death's true aura would be an excellent lesson. As she opened the portal, Bai Ye grinned. This academy was proving quite interesting indeed. A maelstrom of dark energy transported them. They stood before a colossal, cathedral-like gate. A chilling wind swept over them. This is merely the entrance to a beginner ruin, Amanda stated coolly. One of many, scattered across the entire continent. A student asked when it would open. Completely random, she replied. And they never stay open for more than 5 minutes. A fleeting window of opportunity. Bai Ye filed the information away. Every detail mattered. Suddenly, the ground shook. A deep rumble emanated from the gate. Amanda's face went white with panic. Of all the horrible luck. Damn it, why did this ruin have to open right now? The gate exploded with crimson light. A powerful suction erupted, a black mist that clawed and pulled. Run, Amanda screamed, but it was no use. Students were dragged screaming into the abyss. The force was absolute. Amanda fought against the irresistible pull, realizing her entire class was lost. She had to report this, but as the darkness consumed him, Bai Ye felt no fear. A wicked smile crossed his face. Looks like I'm going in. Suddenly, I'm feeling a bit excited. News of the disaster struck the academy leadership. All 18 School of Death students, gone. The headmaster slammed his fist on the table. Even a beginner ruin was a death sentence for them. Notify Amanda. Organize a rescue team. His voice boomed. If we have to, we will go in after them. Bai Ye landed hard on cold stone. He was inside the ruin. Alone, the others were scattered to the winds. He rose, taking in the vast, silent, and oppressive architecture. This place was dangerous. He took no chances. 2 spectral minions materialized at his side. He ventured forward, awestruck by the sheer scale of the ruin. but an eerie quiet hung in the air. Too quiet. Where were the monsters? A flash of movement. He dodged on pure instinct. An attack sliced the air where his head had been. From the shadows, a monstrous dark pincer bug emerged. A level 40 elite. Its stats were terrifying. The welcome party had arrived. An elite monster. Excellent. He gave the order. Attack. His 2 spectral minions charged. It was not enough. He needed overwhelming numbers. Necromantic energy flared. Summon more. His minions' claws scraped against chitin. A shriek of metal on metal. Their attacks were useless. The creature's armor was absolute. He gritted his teeth. Oh ho, its shell is that tough. A change in strategy. Mages, give it some fireballs. A volley of flames slammed into the beast. Explosions rocked the dark chamber. The smoke cleared. It was unscathed. Magic attacks don't work either? Something's not right. The bug retaliated. A single, brutal swipe. His minions shattered into fragments of blue light. Their essence scattered. He stared in disbelief. This thing was on another level. Just what kind of monster is this? Enough playing games. A golden light shone from his eye. His analysis skill pierced the monster's defenses. He would find its flaw. Wait, let me see what weakness you have. And there it was. Hee, looks like your weakness is your abdomen. He had a target. A new command echoed. Archers, shoot that armor plate on its abdomen. Spectral arrows flew true, striking the weak point. The bug shrieked, entering a frenzy. A system alert flashed. Strength increased. Then I'll show you something fierce. His hand beckoned with a vicious grin. Come forth, Skeleton King. The air rippled as a colossal knight on a spectral steed materialized. It bowed its head, answering your summon, my master. The king raised its great sword. Face death. A blinding sphere of energy detonated. A direct hit. The explosion tore a massive hole straight through the bug's body. It collapsed lifeless. System prompts filled his vision. EXP increased. A ruined fragment obtained. I lost 2 minions, but the casualty ratio isn't bad. I've got plenty to spare. He knelt, examining the crystalline loot. A ruined fragment. Amanda hadn't explained its purpose. A form of currency, perhaps. Then, a weapon materialized. A siege great blade. The stats were absurd, a massive boost against armor. This would fetch a fortune. Time to press forward. Minions, keep exploring. Slay whoever stands in our way. His army advanced, but the ruins were not finished. Another bug scuttled from the shadows. He didn't hesitate. Don't hold back. Skeleton King, attack. The assault was immediate and overwhelming. Archers fired. The king charged. The second bug stood no chance. Annihilated in an instant. Another ruined fragment appeared in his hand. He smirked. Another one down. He sensed a commotion. People? He crested a sandy dune and stopped. Below, a graveyard. Bodies littered the ground. But these were not academy students. In the distance, survivors fled from unseen horrors. They're no match for peak elite monsters. One of the massive bugs pursued a small, panicked group. They scrambled for their lives. He watched their desperate flight. Then, he started walking. Straight towards the monster, unfazed. It's just a bug after all. He raised a hand, his expression bored. Minions, finish it off. His undead legion surged past the terrified players. A flash of power. The monster was dead. The survivors stared, speechless. So strong. Summoners are terrifying. Another corrected him. It's not that summoners are strong, he is strong. Did you forget I'm a summoner too? Their brief moment of safety shattered. From the dust, another monster charged. Ah, here comes another one. The renewed terror sent them scrambling once more. Run! Bai raised his hand again. Pillars of fire erupted from the sand. Towering skeleton mages rose, their spectral eyes glowing ominously. The survivors froze, their fears shifting from the monster to him. He even has skeleton mages? The sheer difference in power was absolute. They had to get away. At the Divine Dragon Academy, the situation was dire. Amanda, head of the Death Department, approached the dean. She had grim news. The cause of the incident was clear. The Black Kill Organization. They had struck again. The dean's face twisted in rage. Black Kill. Those traitors to humanity. He roared his commands. A full investigation into the organization. A rescue squad to enter the ruin. His personnel moved without question. The academy was now at war. Meanwhile, deep inside the chaotic ruin, Bai stood ready. His grimoire pulsed with arcane light. His skeletal staff thrummed with dark energy. The real hunt was about to begin. Elsewhere, a student named Li Yi wiped sweat from his brow. He had just escaped a swarm of insects. He now found himself in a dense, creepy swamp. This place was suffocating. The air was thick with malice. Something slithered through the murky water. A grotesque swamp worm. Level 10. Li grimaced in disgust. A weak, repulsive mob. Hardly worth his time. He flicked his wrist. Hurry up and finish it off. Orbs of fire erupted, slamming into the worm. A series of violent explosions tore it apart instantly. An easy kill. He smirked, collecting his experience in a ruined fragment. He knew killing these grubs could lure their mother. Just then, a rustle in the shadows. He spun around. Who's there? A figure stepped into the clearing. Pointed ears, a cold smirk. A death swordsman. I am Black Robe. Li's eyes narrowed. This man was not from the academy. He was an intruder. Black Robe's smile was predatory. He confirmed he used a different entrance. Li pressed him. He clearly wasn't here to kill monsters. Indeed, Black Robe hissed. His mission was simple. His purpose was singular. He drew his blade. To kill you. A blur of motion. A jagged arc of dark energy. A dark slash screamed through the air, aimed right at Li Yi. But Li Yi was more than he seemed. With a flick of his wrist, a skeleton warrior materialized. It took the full force of the blow, and shattered instantly. Li stared in disbelief. His minion was one shot. The assassin's grin widened. So, you're a necromancer. Interesting. Li quickly summoned another skeleton. Defensive formation. He tried to de-escalate. We don't have any bad blood, do we? But the assassin only mentioned Black Kill. Li feigned ignorance. It was a mistake. Fine, then you'll just have to die ignorant. Black Robe lunged again. The dark slash descended, but it never reached its target. A massive skeletal hand, far larger than the last, caught the blade. A new protector, the Skeleton King. It would not allow its master to be harmed. The student's nervous facade vanished, replaced by a cold, predatory smile. Did you really think I didn't know about you guys? He spat the words. You traitors. His Skeleton King loomed. Angering me has consequences. I'll make you wish you were dead. Enraged, Black Robe charged again. Killing you will be like crushing an ant. His sword struck the king's massive frame. A deafening clang echoed through the swamp. The blade stopped dead. Not a scratch. The assassin's face contorted in disbelief. How is that possible? There's no way your summon could be this strong.